Hey everyone, it's Greg here, and welcome to the introduction of blog networks. And in this video, I want to talk about, basically what a blog network is, what they're used for, the difference between private and public, and just all about blog networks. Kind of give you an introduction, especially for the beginners, so you know what it is. A blog network is basically any time you build a network of sites that's used to pass link juice onto a money site to help it rank for a specific keyword or keywords, multiple keywords. Now, there's been a lot of talk in the last few months about how blog networks don't work anymore, and that's ridiculous. A lot of the public blog networks got hit hard, and public blog networks are a lot different than private blog networks. A public blog network would be something like, like My Article Network, Linkvana, Article Marketing Automation. All those. Build My Rank was a popular one that got hit hard. All those big public blog networks that were really popular, they got hit really hard. And the reason is because so many people use them. The more people that's using a blog network, the more likely it is to be hit. When you have a private blog network where just you or a very small group of people are using it, you're a whole lot less likely to be hit. Your blog networks are a whole lot less likely to be, found and de-indexed and all that stuff. With these public blog networks, when you have hundreds and most of the time thousands of people using the network, it's just so much easier for Google to find it out. All right, so that's why a lot of the public blog networks got hit. Also, a lot of the public blog networks, it's like usually built by like one person or a small group of people. I've been in contact with Dory Friend, who helped build some of these blog networks, and I've just been talking to her about how she does them now and all of that. And after talking to her, she made me realize that small groups of people did these blog networks, and that makes it easier to find. A lot of people probably ask, well, isn't Unique Article Wizard a public blog network? And the answer, it is kinda, but it's a different because people join and they add their own site, so it's like hundreds, if not thousands, of different people's sites instead of a very small group of people building sites. So UAW is kind of more like for the people by the people, where it's like thousands of different people's blogs instead of a very small group of people building it, like 3, 4, 5 people building out a whole big network, where it's much easier to leave footprints and all that stuff. Sorry about that. To pause really quick because my son just got home. But that's public blog networks. That's why they're getting shut down, because so many people are using them. We're going to be focused on building a private blog network, which is basically a blog network where just we use it. I introduced you guys to the concept of a niche-specific mini blog network, and that's basically when you go out and buy a brand new domain that's based around your niche, very similar to your site, and you build links from that where it's a very similar site. And that works, but it's nowhere near as powerful when you're buying an expired domain, when it's an aged domain and it has links to it. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be teaching you. How to buy expired domains, what to look for, how to set them up, and how to link to your sites. Because it's all very important, especially to set up. If you leave out one of the steps where you're kind of like hiding the footprint, so to speak, you can expose your whole blog network. So it's very important that you follow all the steps and you do it the right way. Alright, so that's what we're going to be doing. Excuse me. Some of my favorite tools for building these are OpenSite Explorer. You can probably use the free version, and I'll go into this more. Expireddomains.net, and then registercompass.com. And expireddomains.net and registercompass.com are both for finding expired domains, and I'll show you how to use them. And then I'll go through how to set them up again and how I actually link with them all. But yeah, private blog networks, very, very powerful. And I recommend that if you set them up, you don't let anyone else use them, or maybe just some very select few friends. But I almost recommend just using them for yourself, because it's just so powerful if you set it up the right way and you know what to look for. All right. Now, different people look for different things. Some people just look for age. They just want age domains. Some people look at PageRank. Some people look at links, and then some people look at everything. I like to look at everything. All right. I always consider age. I always consider PageRank, and I really consider links. There's plenty of cases where I'll buy a website that's showing a PageRank 0, and by the time I get it set up, it's a PageRank 5, all right? And, I paid like $69 for a site that's a PageRank 0, showing a PageRank 0, but I know it's going to be way higher when I set up the site and the links kick in, and it bumps up to a PageRank 5, which sells for a couple $1,000s sometimes, and I can get it for $69. And I'll show you guys what to look for and all that stuff, all right? So, very, very valuable part of this course. Like I said, there's not much information out there on this. A lot of the information I have found it's decent, but they leave out some little details that can really make a huge difference. If you leave out some of the steps in the setting up process, that can leave those footprints that gets your blog network found and totally de-indexed, where all the money you invested can go down the drain. So it's really important that you set it up the right way. All right. Some pluses. Again, I've been in contact with Dory Friend, who's been setting up these blog networks for years and years and years. I've also been in contact with Todd Spears, who is the guy who invented SEO hosting. So, I've been talking to those two people and kind of getting their input, and what I'm going to do is kind of give you guys the output of both people and my own input to where I think we'll be building the best private blog networks that you can. All right, as far as how to set them up safely, the steps to follow, how to link, what kind of hosting to use, and all that stuff. So, I've been in contact with some of the best in the business for private blog networks. I gathered information from them. I even had Dory set up some sites for me so I could analyze what she does. And then I'm mixing her information with Todd's information with my own opinion, and I'm mixing it all into this blog network series for NHB. All right. But again, private blog networks is when you build a series of sites, and their main purpose is to link out to your money sites to help them gain rank. All right. And again, we're going to be focusing on expired domains, and that's domains that people previously owned and they let expire. Because the way a domain works is someone registers it, they build a site, they get links to it, something happens where they don't want the site anymore, or they don't realize the site's up, and they never renew it. After that, I don't know the exact step, but after that, it basically goes to these services where you can pick them up as expired domains. If you don't pick them up from there, it gets renewed, so to speak, in the original registry, and if no one picks it up in the expired domain stage, then it gets recycled into the domain registry where you can pick it up through a normal service like Namecheap again, and that's called a deleted domain. Because it's deleted, then it's re-put into the registry. But before that happens, if someone forgets to renew or they decide not to renew, it first goes into like a pool, so to speak, of expired domains, where people have a chance to pick them up. If they don't pick them up, again, it goes back into the original registry, where you can get them from a normal place like Namecheap, GoDaddy, and all that. All right. So that's an introduction. I'm going to show you guys what to look for, how to set them up, how to link. I'm going to show you everything you need to know. Most important probably is how to set them up so you don't get found, and definitely what to look for. A lot of people like to look only at PageRank, and the problem lies there is people will look only at PageRank, but people have tricks where they push up the PageRank, and if there's no links backing that up, the PageRank's going to eventually fall. All right. So I like to mainly look at links, but we'll go into that in detail. All right. Can't wait to show you guys this stuff. Very, very powerful if you implement it. Can be costly depending what kind of sites you're buying, how valuable. But again, I've gotten PageRank 5 sites for as low as $69. If you know what to look for, you can do it if you're willing to put the time in to look for the right domains. All right. Again, can't wait to get into this stuff. Talk to you guys soon. Alright, in this video we're going to be discussing PageRank, also referred to as PR. So if you see someone say PR, the PR is, then a number, they're talking about PageRank. Don't get that confused with a press release, because sometimes people will refer to a press release as a PR. A lot of times when they're referring to PageRank, they'll say, PR 0, PR 6, whatever the PageRank is. And PageRank is basically a measuring algorithm that Google used to determine the importance of a site. Okay, it's one of the measuring factors they use, but in the last 10 months or so, as of late October 2013, they haven't updated PageRank, which is very unusual. They usually update every 3 months or so. They update the toolbar PageRank every 3 months. Internally, they update every day, supposedly multiple times a day, but they haven't updated that toolbar PageRank in a long time, which tells us, things may be changing. They may be gravitating away from PageRank. Even if that's so, it's still important to know what PageRank is, because a lot of people will use PageRank as like the main factor for determining, for like a blog networks or a money site, and it's not. Especially now where they haven't updated PageRank in so long, you can't rely on PageRank so much. You can use it as like a helper, help you determine. Like it can be like a starting point, or it can be a factor in your judgment. But don't look at just PageRank, especially now when they haven't updated it in 10 months. Very, very important. You can see right here I'm at google.com. I have this is called a PageRank toolbar. You can download. Just go to Google, type in PageRank toolbar for whatever browser you use, and it will install something like this where you can see the PageRank of a site right in your browser when you go to it. Google is a PageRank 9 out of 10, which is extremely high. There's only like a few 10s on the entire web. I think like USA.gov is one. Oops. USA.gov. There we go. See, there are 10 here, which is extremely, extremely rare. There's, again, only a few 10s on the entire web. A lot of the sites that are on the web, like, if they're decent sites, they're like PageRank 2, PageRank 3. But again, don't use that as your main determining factor for determining PageRank. Another tool you can use for determining PageRank quickly, if we go and type in, like, let's just do, like, electronic cigarettes. This is called SEO Quake, this plugin here, and what it does is it shows a whole bunch of stats down, not just PageRank, but like the Alexa ranking, Whois stuff, SEMrush stuff. But you can see PageRank right here. PageRank a 4, that one's a 5, so it gives you those stats really quick. That's a 2 right there. That's a 4. Here's my site right here, showing a PR0. Because again, this isn't really a PR0. PR just hasn't been updated in so long. My site's not a PR0. Alright, but that's what PageRank is. Just again, be careful not to make that your main determining factor like most people do. It's a big mistake. But that's what PageRank is. It's what Google uses to determine, it's part of what Google uses to determine the value of a site and help other people determine, the value of a site or the trust factor. But again, it seems like they're gravitating away from that since they haven't updated in 10 months. Very, very unusual for them. Alright, hope you enjoyed this video. Talk to you soon. Alright, in this video we're going to be talking about domain authority, something that's really gained importance, especially lately, and that's another measuring factor that Google uses to determine, the value of a site, how much authority they have, and it's determined by, the more important links you have going to your site, the more domain authority you're going to have. You look at a site like google.com, or let's say youtube.com. Let's go to YouTube. And by the way, Open Site Explorer does a good job of determining domain authority for the most part, so that's why I'm using them. And we can see right here the domain authority is 100 out of 100, which is, about as good as it gets. And this is why when it comes to ranking YouTube videos, it's pretty much no rules, because when you have, the higher your domain authority is, the more you can get away with. So when your domain authority is 100 out of 100, you can pretty much do anything you want to rank YouTube videos. You can fire spam at them. You can use the same anchor text pretty much most of the time, and you can get away with it because the domain authority is so high. Okay, because obviously there's over 300,000 domains pointing to this, over 24 million links, tons of social stuff. So, a site like YouTube.com with that domain authority so high, that's why we can get away with that stuff. Other sites, same thing. Stuff like Tumblr and and all those big Web 2.0 sites, their domain authority is so high that you can spam that type of stuff. Twitter, Facebook, you can spam all that stuff because, again, the domain authority is so high. So, again, domain authority is just another factor that Google uses to determine the value of a site. And right now, domain authority is really important because sites with really high domain authority like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, again, it's pretty much like there's no SEO rules. You can pretty much do whatever you want to rank the property. All right, and SEO Moz does a really good job of determining the domain authority. They mess up a little bit, of course, I'm sure, but they're about as close as you can get to accurate domain authority. So if you want to check out domain authority, I recommend OpenSite Explorer, which is a part of Moz. Alright, hope you enjoyed this video. Talk to you soon. Alright, in this video we're going to be talking about footprints. I know when I first started, especially with like blog networks, a lot of people be talking about footprints, and it would drive me crazy because I'm like, what the hell are they talking about footprints? Well, a footprint is basically anything that can, it's basically a pattern, okay? It's any pattern you create that Google can use to find out what you're doing. You know, it's particularly used a lot with blog network stuff because you can leave footprints. Like for example, if you don't block any of your who is information, if you have 100 blog network sites and all 100 sites you have had the same exact who is information, Greg Morrison, same address, same phone number. That's a footprint. That's something that they can find where, if you're using 20 of those sites to link to one of your money sites, if that money site has, all 20 links coming from that money site are coming from someone with the same who is information, that's a footprint, okay? Or if, all 100 of your sites all have the same exact theme, something like that. You have all your sites linked to a money site and they all have the same theme. That's a footprint. It's basically a pattern. All right. The thing that's important to understand is that Google is a machine. They can't think, but it can't think, I should say, but it can detect patterns like that. So anytime you hear footprint, they're basically talking about patterns. You want to avoid creating certain patterns. All right. Hope you enjoyed this. Talk to you soon. Alright, in this video we're going to be talking about guest posting. Guest posting is one of our forms of overdrive link. They can be really high quality links. It can be almost as powerful as posting on a blog network site if you find the right people. So, one of the ways you can go about guest posting is contacting site owners that are in your niche and offer them high quality content. I know I've gotten emails like that where someone will contact me. They'll say, hey, I write really high quality articles on whatever the niche is. So let's say gold. I write really high quality articles on gold investing. Would you be interested in letting me, have articles and just, print a couple on your site? And then let's say I just want to be able to put one link in there. And, people do it all the time. So if we go and let's go search for gold investing, something like that. What we could do is start contacting these site owners who are ranking well. Or just, they don't have to be ranking well, they just have to have, you can look at you can use PageRank to determine. Again, remember, PageRank isn't everything, but you can still use it to determine. So for example, this is a PR5. If we could get a link on this URL right here, that would be great. So we could look up their information, contact them, and then say, I write really high quality content. Would you be interested in letting me, write an article for your site? I would just want a single link in the article. That's it. And the way you can find their information is you can either go to their site and you can look for any type of contact. Here's a contact here. That's the easiest way to do it. Or you can go to Google. You can type in who is. I like using Network Solutions for this. And then you just copy their domain name. Put it in the who is search, and then it will have an email for them somewhere in here, and even phone numbers, if you want to call a phone number. These people are from Great Britain, but here's their email right here: christine.woodward@gold.org. Alright, so let's go back here. I guess we contact them. We contact these Daily Reckoning people. That's a PR3, which is that's a good link. Probably a good link, because again, we can't use that to determine everything. Gold Investing News, that's showing a PR4. Places like USA Gold probably wouldn't do it, so just be smart with who. Don't waste your time contacting like Wikipedia. No point in contacting them. USA Gold, they're a big gold company. They're probably not going to be interested. You can try if you want, but companies like like big sites like that probably wouldn't be interested. And don't be afraid to go to like second, third, fourth, fifth pages. We're just looking for relevant links from good sites. Like USA Today, they probably wouldn't be interested. They're so big. We contact them. MarketWatch is really big. Investopedia is huge. The Guardian's huge, so I'd skip them. CBS News is huge. Maybe I'd contact these people, and just go through and look for sites that have the same type of topics. find their email them, ask them if you can write content for them, high quality, and just with a single link back to your site. You don't even have to mention the link in the first email. Just say that I'm looking to publish high quality content on your site. If they email you back, then you can discuss that you want to include, a link in there. All right. So that's what guest posting is. That's a really good way to do it, is just to contact site owners who are in the same niche as you, then offer high quality content, where you would then mix a link in with the content. Hey everyone, it's Greg here, and today we're going to be talking about how to find expired domains the right way. Okay. When I first started looking for expired domains, I went through a lot of trial and error. I probably wasted tens of thousands of dollars on domains that aren't that good that I thought were. Following other people's advice, and it really took me a while to grasp the right way to find expired domains, and that's what we're going to be going over today. If you know about expired domains, you've probably heard, get page rank domains. That's not really effective anymore. It can be, but for the most part, it can get you in trouble. It can get you stuck with sites that you pay way too much for, that don't do that much for you. So we're going to clear all that up in this video. I'm going to show you how to find them the right way, so you're not wasting your money. You won't be dumb like I did and try to do everything on your own, and you don't got to test or anything like I did. I'm just going to show you what's working and the most effective way to find sites, because this is how I find sites for stuff like HailKS, which is doing nearly $1,000 a day in affiliate commission. That site's powered purely by expired domains, which I find the way I'm about to show you. Okay. One of the reasons that PageRank, especially now that looking at PageRank domains, just PageRank is not effective, is, as you can see right here, PageRank has not been updated as the time this video was shot since February 5th, 2013. That's almost a year ago. Okay, it's about 9 months, 10 months ago, something like that. So that's a long time for PageRank not to be updated. It's usually updated every 3 months. A lot can happen in 9 months. New links can be added, new links can be taken away, and that's where PageRank comes from. It comes from other links. Okay, it comes from other PageRank sites, but it's all messed up when it doesn't get updated in a while. Now, it does get updated internally within Google, I believe, every day or something like that. Probably multiple times a day, but to the general public, Toolbar PR has not been updated in nearly a year now. So it's not the most efficient thing to look at. Now, you can use it to determine to help determine the value of a site, but looking at purely PageRank, you're going to get yourself in hot water, yourself in a lot of trouble. You're going to waste money. You're going to get sites that aren't that powerful that you think are. You're going to say, man, I got 5 PR5 sites pointing to the site, but it's not moving. Well, because they're not really PR5 sites. All right. And again, that's what we're going to clear up here. So I'm logged into Register Compass here, registercompass.com or registercompass.org. Both goes to the same place. By far my favorite tool for looking for expired domains. This has so many features, and it can take off so much time finding the right domains, as you'll see. This tool saves me. It depends how much I'm looking for domains in a specific month, but this tool can save me 50, 100 hours in 1 month, just because of the features it has and the filters and all that stuff. Alright, so here's the login screen here. I'm just going to go to domain search. And here's all the filters right here that you can set. There's tons of them. You want to make sure it's indexed. That's one thing you can set right off the bat. We want at least one page index in Google. We don't want de-indexed sites. Okay, so that takes care of that right there. You can do domain age. You only want sites that are, I don't know, 2000 or older. Maybe you want 2010 or older. So you just do less than whatever year you want. So for example, this would only give me sites 2008 and lower. All right. Another filter I use, domain authority. This is a big one. One of the biggest ones. SEO Mize domain authority. That's one of the main factors I look at when finding domains, because domain authority is where it's at with SEO right now. It's all about domain authority, but it's about real domain authority. Okay, just because SEO Mize says it has a high domain authority doesn't mean it does, and we're going to talk about that when we start doing some examples. But I'll set the domain authority, I don't know, greater than 20, something like that. Alright, and then auction type, I'll sort by auction type. I usually only look at public and pre-releases, because usually buy nows is people that know the value of their site and they're trying to get more than it's worth. You probably can find deals with buy nows. Actually, I know you can. Of course you can. But for the most part, most buy nows that you find are going to be overpriced. There's going to be people that know what they're doing and they're looking to, make money. So you can look at those one. You can probably find deals in there because most people don't go in there because I don't recommend it because I don't do it. So most people won't be going in there. So if you want to spend the time going in there and looking at domains and maybe just finding the gems, maybe you can benefit from that. For me, it's not worth it. It's too much time to find one or two gems every few hours. But it can be worth it for other people. Same thing for reverse and offer, especially offer. I actually never messed with reverse. I don't think. I haven't done it in such a while that I don't remember reverse. But for offer, again, same thing. Most of these are people who know the value of their site, where you'll put in an offer and then they'll come back like $1,000 higher, and it's a ridiculous price. So I stick with public and also pre-release. Public is mostly GoDaddy. It might be all GoDaddy. And then pre-release is Namejet and Snap. Okay, mostly Namejet. So we can start with public, and then what I'll do is I'll do, depends what I got for my schedule, but maybe I'll do ones expiring, expires in next 7 days. I don't know, whatever. All right, or if you want to do every, if you're gonna be looking for them a lot, every 2 days, something like that. We'll just leave it for 7 right now. Okay. And then you can set any other filters you want. Okay. It's totally up to you, but those are some of the main filters that I use. So let's go to Find Domains. And bam, all of our filters are set. We're looking at these right here. Auction domains, that's the ones we're interested in. Click on Auction Domains and it'll bring up another screen with all the ones that fit our filters. Okay. From here, we want to sort by SEO Moz domain authority. Hit the down one, and it'll sort it from highest to lowest. Alright, so here we are right here. Alright, so now when I'm looking at this, of course, the first thing I look at is the SEO Moz domain authority. Okay. Next thing I look at is the age. The older it is, the better. And the older it is, the more likely it is to match the domain authority. Then I'll look at page rank. I know that the higher the page rank that's showing, the more the site's going to go for, because people still gauge by page rank. Even though it hasn't been updated in 9 months and it's not totally accurate to begin with, they still gauge by page rank. If it's PR5, it's going to go for $500, $600, maybe $1,000, depending who's bidding on it. We can see right here this site's already up over $1,000. It's got 6 hours left. Okay. The next thing I look at is the name of the site. This is important. You can tell a lot by the name of a site. If a site's called MakeMoneyOnline247.com, I'm probably not even going to bother looking at it, because I don't want sites that people blatantly make to make money. Okay, because that means likely they're trying to manipulate. I want sites that have natural links. Like business sites or organizations and stuff like that. Where they have natural links from other sites. So the name of the domain does matter. It can play a big part. You can tell a lot by looking at the name of a site. All right. So I'm looking for like businesses, organizations, natural type stuff like that. All right, now this one right here, it's a PR5. It's already $1,000. I'm not paying that much for this. Even if the links do match, I don't care. I'm not paying that much for that domain, so I'm just going to skip it. Now right here, we got a PR2. Okay, high domain authority. This could be a decent one. Sometimes you got to match domain authority with the page rank. Like if it's showing a page rank or a domain authority this high, with only a PageRank 2, even though PageRank hasn't been updated in a while, likely there's a lot of spammy links, but we can go check it out, because it's only at $12, and it's a 4-letter domain.org, which I like. So let's go to SEO My Site Explorer. Open Site Explorer, that is. And that will bring up the site. Let me log in here. Now, it didn't bring up the right site, so it might be a redirect. Make sure you have, the site that you're looking at is the one that's showing up. Usually has a message if it's a reader. There it is right there, the message. So we want to look at the real site, not the one it's being redirected to up here. Alright, so right away I see buy Tramadol online, Xanax. I don't want that type of stuff. So, when I'm looking at analyzing these links, because the main thing I'm looking at is I want the links to match the domain authority. Okay, and we're going to go through some examples to help you understand this, but right away I don't want this because there's tons of spam. You know, when you see anything like drugs or like this type of stuff, buy drugs online, sex, teen porn, anything like that, stay away from it. If it has a lot of the same anchor text, stay away from it. This is obviously a site that someone did SEO for. They went out and got black hat SEO links. We're just not interested in that type of stuff, or I'm not at least. All right, so I'm going to skip that one. All right, so here's one. It's a PR5. It's from 2005. The domain authority matches the page rank. It's at $55. News assignment, which means it could be, from that domain name, it could be like a business type website, something like that. So I'm going to go check it out. Oh, and the other thing, make sure you always check the non-www version and the www version, okay? Because sometimes it will show no links for the non-version, the non-dub version, and then it will show all the links for the www version. A lot of the times, sites that are before 2007 or 2008, around there, all the links will be for the www version. Links after 2007, 2008 usually have most of their links at the non-www version, but it doesn't mean it definitely, but sites before 2007 or so, usually all the links are at the www version, just to help save you time. All right, this site is a weird one where it's actually showing more, probably showing more for the non-www, and it's 2005. But we'll go check www too, because this one we had 181 referring domains. This one has 180. So they're about the same. You don't see that often, but alright, so now this looks like a good site. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to organize by domain authority, or I'm sorry, organize by domain, group by domain. So what that means is if there's a whole bunch of links from one domain, it cuts that out. Just does one link from each domain, the top link from each domain. Alright. So right here, I like what I see. I'm seeing branded anchor text, which is URL. More branded, a lot of branded anchor text. Person's name, which means they probably commented on this article. It's probably a blog comment. And what I see here is super high page authority with high domain authority. That's great. Even like links that are like, in the 30s, if they have a link from a 75 like this one, that's probably a strong link. You got to consider page authority and domain authority. All right, page authority is more important. If you got an 80 page authority with 92 domain authority, that's huge. That's a big link for the most part. But even if you have stuff like a 25 page authority with like a 92 domain authority, that can also be a huge link. All right, so you gotta consider both of them. Now, if you have like a 25 page authority with like a 26 domain authority, that's like that's getting down there. Then when you get into like the teens, like a 17 page authority with like a 25 domain authority, those aren't much. All right, but these links are. This is a really good looking, strong backlink portfolio. We've got an edu link here. Love edu and government links. All right. Again, page authority and domain authority are very high. Even for these like middle ones, like in the 40s, they all have like high domain authority on them. So this is a very strong site. What you can also do, even though PageRank is outdated, you can use it to gauge the power of the links. So you can go check out these links and see what the PageRank of them is if you want. I can look at this site and just tell you it's a good site. It's very strong. It matches the PageRank. It matches the domain authority. That's a really good site. Okay. Surprised it's only at $55 with 6 hours. Or I'm sorry, that was updated 6 hours ago. It has 6 days left, so it will go for more than that. But that would be a good site right there. Okay. So let's keep going down here. Let's go down to like the lower, like in the 30s. Because remember, you can use all this stuff to gauge everything. Like for example, we got domain authority 35, page rank of 3, and then the name of the site is thegreatpyramid.org. So this could be like an organizational type site. Not many people will go after it because it's only showing a page rank 3. It's pretty old, 2004, which is good. Domain authority is decent, 35 is pretty good. So this is one I would go check out. All right, let's go in SEO Site Moz, which is Open Site Explorer. All right, so now this version only has 4 links. It's before 2007, so it's probably at the www version. All the links I'm talking about. Alright, so there they are right there. And again, when you look at this, again, you're looking at domain authority, you're looking at page authority. Linking root domains, the more the better, okay? Because expired domains can lose links. The more they have, the more chance they have of keeping their links, right? So usually I like seeing linking root domains be 20 or above. I'm not as worried about total links as I am about linking root domains. And then these are all bonuses. If it has social shares, that's a bonus. Okay, if it doesn't have them, I'm not too worried about it, but the main thing I'm looking at is domain authority, page authority, linking root domains. And then from there, we go check out the quality of the links. So right here, we got a foreign site. We could group by domain. I mean, they don't look that great to me. It's hard to tell because they're foreign. With foreign sites, you can always go check the page rank of the links to get an idea. Now you can see the difference with this. Remember, the first link for the other one was like 80 and like 92. That's a pretty big difference, 52. Well, it has a high domain authority. I mean, that's a good link there. It looks like a good link at least. 43 and 85, that's good. The numbers are good at least. 42 and 91 is pretty good. Then we start going down pretty quick. 32 and 46, pretty good. 29.57 could be good. 29.46. It's actually not that bad, as it's hard to tell with foreign sites. Again, you would probably want to go check the page rank of the links. Alright, so if you want, you could, this is one where you'd have to look further. Go check out the page rank of the links. If they have decent page rank for the links, then that could be your gauging factor. Alright? But, anytime, like, page rank 3s are good to bid on because a lot of people avoid them. And sometimes you can get these page rank 3s for like, I don't know, like 20, $12. Sometimes they can go up to, 100, depending who's bidding on. But if you only bid on, ones that you're getting good deals on, you can get them for a really good price. So here's one that I think looks really good. There's less than 2 days left, and it's only at $15. It's from 99, which is great. Domain authority is 35, which is pretty good. Showing a page rank 3. Again, I don't care that much about the page rank, but it's matching up with the domain authority, age, the name of the domain seems like an organizational type website, so it is something that could be a real PR3. That's kind of what I'm using to gauge. So let's go to SEO My Site Explorer. It's from 99, so the links are probably at the www version. Alright, now this is a redirect, so you gotta be careful about that. We don't want to look at the links to this site. Whenever you get this message, be careful. You don't want to look at the links this site's redirecting to. You want to look at the links going directly to the site we want to look at. Okay, so only 2 links at this version, so we're going to put in the www version. Again, we got to click on this to go to the site we're actually looking at, not the site it's directing to. And this version, of course, we got 45. We got more. Okay. Alright, so So this was something about like the Virginia Range Wildfire or something. Virginia Range Wildlife Protection. So it's like an organization. That's great. That's a great sign right off the bat. I love organizational type websites. Um, the first one here is from what looks like to be like an official Virginia or Nevada website, which is good. Page Authority 51, Domain Authority 41. That's good. Then what's something from Squidoo, which is like a Web 2.0. This right here, 44 and 44, looks decent. Now, I didn't organize this by domain, which I could do, but I'm not going to do it because then I will have to maybe go through the redirect again. Summitpost.org, 34 and 72, I like that. Again, we consider page, that's a middle range one, it's decent, but then it's got a pretty high domain authority, so that makes it a lot better. Those are all from the same domain. So this actually looks pretty good. Of course, if you could get this for $12, hell yeah, yeah, absolutely. This domain could do a lot for you, especially for $12. I would even pay like 60 for a domain like this, 70, and that's still a deal. All right, but I could do group by domain filter, but then I'll go back to the redirecting, and I don't want to go through that. All right, so there's another good one. But yeah, just know when you look at these, like the ones with the higher page rank are going to go for more. Okay, now you can do whatever you want, and you can really take this to where you want. But just look at everything. Look at the domain authority. Look at the age. Compare the page rank to the domain authority. If it's a 37 and it's showing a PR2, that's somewhat close. The whole thing is 0 to 10 domain authority is like a PR0. 11 to 20 is a PR1. 21 to 30 is a PR2. 31 to 40 is a PR3, and so on and so on. About. Okay, it's like that's about what it is. So for this right here, like this PR5, what this is telling me is that's low. Okay, it's probably lower than a PR5, even though it could be higher. Because OpenSite Explorer, again, domain authority that they show is not totally accurate. Now, what's not accurate about their domain authority scores, in my eyes, is they give too much credit to no-follow links and spammy links, and then they give not enough credit to edu links and government links. Okay, so even though this is showing 37 to a PR5, it could really be like in the 50s if it had like government and edu links, or it could be really in the teens if it has a whole bunch of spammy links. Okay, so you gotta consider that as well. Let me find a site that I know will be spammy. I saw one about porn, which would probably be spammy. Usually .infos are spammy. So let's go look at this one. See, now this is showing a domain. This is a mistake people make as well, is when they learn about domain authority, they just bid on high domain authority domains. But it doesn't really mean it's high domain authority. It just means OpenSite Explorer is showing a high domain authority. Okay? So let's go to the www version. Alright, so there's nothing for that one. I just want to show you one that is spammy. Alright, lesbian sex review, that's probably spammy. Especially when it has a domain authority that high and a PR that low. Usually that big difference can be a sign of spammy links. No, not that much for that one. Check the www version. Alright, so there's more links. So this is somewhat spammy. A lot of foreign links and all that stuff. But usually with spammy stuff, you'll see like a lot of redirects, see a lot of no-follow. Okay, that's the thing. They give a lot of credit to no-follow, when no-follow doesn't really improve your domain authority that much in my eyes. So just be aware that domain authority is not totally accurate in OpenSite Explorer. A whole bunch of no-follow and spammy links can drive up domain authority. Okay, when you see the real natural links, that pretty much matches the domain authority. All right. If there's government edu links in there, then it's the domain authority, and with other normal links, then the domain authority is likely low, and it's actually higher than it seems. Just be aware of those things that Open Site Explorer kind of, that's where they mess up with the domain authority, in my eyes. And going by those rules, I've been very successful with the domains I've gotten. Okay, so don't make the mistake of going after just PageRank. Don't make the mistake after going after just domain authority. Combine everything you see when you come in here, and this is something that not a lot of people do. They either just go after PageRank or they just go after domain authority, and I see these mistakes made time and time again. You have to look at the whole picture. What's the domain name? Why would someone make this site? How old is it? What is the domain authority it's showing? What's the PageRank? After all that's considered, go look at the links. Do these links back up the domain authority? That's the next step. If the links back up the domain authority, you're good to go. That's the golden ticket right there. If the links back up domain authority, again, if links back up domain authority, it's a great site. Okay, as long as its index meets all of our filters. So that is what you want to look at when you're looking for expired domains. That's how you get really powerful sites. I have tons of low PR sites that will outdo most people's PR5 networks, maybe even PR6 networks, because I go after the links that match the domain authority. Okay, when you have a PR5 site that's a domain authority of 20, or a PR5 site that has like 3 links that are all crappy links, it's not going to do anything for you. Okay, stop looking just at PageRank. Look at the whole picture. All right. There's also different things I look at for expired domains for money sites and expired domains for blog networks, and I'm going to cover that in a different video. What I'll do, since we mostly covered expired domains for blog networks in this site, in this video, in the next video I will cover blog networks. I'll cover expired domains for money sites specifically, because I look for a little different things in expired domains for money sites, and you can look at different things depending on where your skill levels are at. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Talk to you. Hey everyone, Greg here again, and in this video we're going to be talking about expired domains for money sites, compared to expired domains for blog network sites, because when it's going to be used for a money site, there's different things that we look for, or different things that we can look for. Now, there's also different risks involved, or how experienced you are with this, how comfortable you are with it. An expired domain or an aged domain that just has age on it and no links can benefit you, more than a new domain, because it's age. It has age to it, and that's a factor. Okay. If you're not comfortable at all with determining link quality, you can do an aged domain with no links, and that's the safe way to go. You're not going to get as much power as an aged domain with powerful links going to it, but you will still get power from it, and you will get more power than you will from a new domain. Okay, so again, there's different levels here. You can go with an aged domain with just age. You can go with aged domain that has just a few links to be a little safe, or you can go with an aged domain, expired domain with a lot of links to go after a bunch of power right off the bat. I bought a site a couple months ago for $6,000. It had age, it had tons of edu and gov links, extremely powerful site. I believe it shows a PR6 or 7, and it matches the domain authority. And that site was $6,000, which is really, I paid too much for it. It was too expensive, but I got it anyways. And I threw up a site for it, and immediately it was ranking for all sorts of terms because it has all that power going to it already. And then when I started building my network links to it, or my blog network links to it, it's exploding, because again, it has all that power. But when you have all those links, you run into more chances of running into problems if you don't know what you're doing. Okay, you really got to know what to look for, and that's what I'm going to be showing you in this video. And again, if you're not comfortable with it, don't fret too much about it. You can go after age domains that have no links to be safe, and just have the age factor on your hand. But if you're comfortable examining links, that age and those links can play a huge part for you. Those links can really put a lot of extra oomph on top of that age. Okay, so there's different things. There's different levels here that you can go, depending how risky you want to be or how comfortable you are analyzing stuff. All right, but either way, age can help you. Age with links can help you even more. All right, let's go to domain search. And of course, the other thing with money sites, obviously, is you have to worry more about the domain name, right? If you're going to be starting a site on cats, you can't get dogs.com because it wouldn't make any sense. You really have to consider the domain name a lot more when you're doing a money site because it has to fit, or at least has to fit a little bit. If it's like prnews.com, you can make that about anything really because it's kind of like a general topic. But again, if it's cats.com, you can't really make that about dogs.com. Cats.com you can really only make about cats. If it has a very specific niche in the domain, you can't really go outside that niche. So you have to. That's the other thing you really have to consider is the domain name has to at least somewhat make sense. All right. For my e-cigarette site, it's called KLKS. That could be a site on anything. I can turn that into an e-cigarette site, even though it used to be a site on a radio station, and all the links are about radio stations and stuff. It doesn't matter. You can retheme a site. What matters is the name of the domain. Like again, the cats and dogs example, you just can't do that. But for KLKS, you can make a domain like that about anything. All right. So again, domain name is very important for money sites because you really have to consider what the domain could mean to people. Now, of course, shorter domains rank better, so if you find short domains, that's good as well, like KLKS. All right, so let's go set our filters here. We got greater than or 0. And for this example, for these filters, what I'll do is I'll set it up to look for a site with links, because looking for a site without links, you wouldn't worry about domain authority. You would probably type in words here to help filter out, like, so not going through all the sites, but you would probably look for something that's like relevant off the domain name to make it easier. But you can do it however you want. But for this example, I'm going to do an example for sites with links because finding a site without links is common sense. You just find a domain you like that's old. That's it. Okay. So we're going to be looking at ones with links. I want it to be at least 2007 or better. So I'm going to do below 2008. Domain authority I want to be greater than, we'll say 20. Auction type, we did public when we did the expired domain example for money for blog network sites. So we can do pre-release for this one. Usually I would search for both. If I'm looking for a blog network sites, I'll search public, then I'll go back and I'll search pre-release. Since we did public in the blog network example, I'll do pre-release for this one. It doesn't matter, it's just different sites come up. For example, it doesn't matter, I should say. Alright, so we'll do in the next 7 days, and let's go ahead and look for that. If you really want to, you can put words in here. You want it to contain, health if you want to, but that's really going to limit the amount of sites that come back, because you can retheme sites, remember. As we see with KLKS, a site doing nearly $1,000 a day. Whoops. Did I just reset? No, I didn't find. Alright. 878. Alright, so again I'm going to organize by domain authority because the links are a bigger factor than age. If you have powerful links going to a site, it can really give you a big boost, okay? So let's see what we got here. A domain like Zogby, that could be about anything, so you could do that. I don't really like that domain name though, so I'm not going to look at that one. RRFC Network. This could be this. You could do this about on a lot of sites. If we're doing a health site, you can make it like the RFFC Health Network. You could turn it into that'd be like the title of your site, or like the kind of like the caption of your site. RRFC Health Network, or the Cat Network. So you can do this site on anything. So this is one we could actually use for a money site. It's from 2005. It's showing maybe a PR5. Again, we don't care that much about PR, so we would just go look at the links. So let's go take a look at this. Of course, it's going to mess up for me. Oh, come on, Maz. Alright. Just have to highlight this. There we go. Alright, so that version only has 4 links. Let's try the www version. Since it's below 2007, that's probably where the links are. And it is. Very high domain authority and page authority. A lot of linking root domains, that's good. So let's go take a look at the links here. Alright, so now the other thing, when we're looking at the links, we want all the stuff that we want for blog network sites, so we want natural links. Now the RFFC network, it seems, was a site about like some parent network or something like that, special ed. It was the Western Regional Resource Center. That's like an organization. That's very good because that tells me they probably got a lot of natural links. We love natural links. We love links that we can't get with SEO. That's what we like. The other thing I really like is they have a lot of branded anchor text. Now, this is something that people really look over when looking for expired domains for money sites, is a lot of branded anchor text. If we go look at klks.com, you'll see a lot of branded anchor text. That's one of the reasons I really like that site. The other reason I liked it because there was a lot of natural links. It was a radio station. It was a short domain. It was an organization. So it all fit for KLKS. Even though the links weren't that strong, they were all natural, and there was a lot of branded anchor text, and it was old, and it was a short domain. Okay, so those were the key factors for me for KLKS. This site here, it's looking really good. RRC, program.org. I believe the actual domain was RRFC though, wasn't it? Yeah, RRFC. So that's actually not the right domain showing, it's a redirect. We probably just can't see it because this is looking weird. Let's just say this was the right domain. A lot of strong links here, really high page authority with high domain authority. Something I really like is the branded anchor text. Again, this is what people look over, is looking at the anchor text. If there's a lot of branded anchor text, what that does is it gives you room to really stay away from over-optimization, okay? A lot less chance of getting hit with over-optimization when you start building in your links, okay? If a site has 100 links, a whole bunch of branded anchor text, when you start building your links, if you use too much exact match anchor text by accident, these links in here will offset it, okay? Because, say you had a site with no links, right? If you build 10 links and you accidentally do, 3 exact anchor, that could end up being over optimization. Well, in this case, if you have 100 links, most of them are branded anchor text, you accidentally build 3 exact match anchor text, that's only 3%, okay? So I love a site that has a lot of branded anchor text like this when I'm using it for a money site. It's very, very good. We got a lot of links from normal sites here, like the parent network center. You can always tell, like here's a government link here, educational resources directory, gpo.gov and other government links. You can just tell by looking at washington.edu. These are great, great links. You can just tell by looking at them. Just look at the name of the site, look at the anchor text. That's how you tell normal type links. All right, so that would actually be a good one that I would use for a money site. All right, Skype media. That's about Skype, so you can't really use that for much. Methane to markets. I don't know about that. Corp-gov. Maybe if you're doing like a site on financial stuff, you could use a site like this. As far as the domain name, of course, you would have to check the links. Swami for kids, that kind of limits you. Pork busters, that could be about anything. You could say you're busting the best electronic cigarettes. You're busting the best way to train a cat. You could make that about anything. So just be creative when you look at these domain names. All right. But again, you're considering a lot of the things you're considering for a blog network site, but you also need to consider the name of the domain and then the links. Deeper into the links, like the anchor text. Branded anchor text can really, really help. I love a money site that has a lot of branded anchor text. All right, so that's the difference there. You need to consider the domain name more. You need to consider the anchor text more. If it has a lot of branded anchor text, that's really good. Shorter domains can do really good. That's one of the reasons I picked KLKS. But other than that, again, if you're not comfortable analyzing links, you can just go with a site with age. So there's different levels here. You can go with just age, and be super safe, or you can go with H and just a few links, just to you just want to make sure, or you just kind of want to be mostly safe and you're pretty sure those few links are strong. Or you can go to a site that has a whole bunch of links if you're comfortable analyzing this. There's always a chance, when you have a site that has a whole bunch of links, but for the most part, if they look healthy and you know what to look for, they're natural links like parentnetwork.com, the anchor text is branded. That type of stuff are really good signs. If you know what to look for, you're gonna have a very, very high percentage of success as far as sites ranking extremely well. All right. So hopefully this video was helpful. I'll talk to you soon. Hey everyone, it's Greg here. In this video I'm going to show you how to use a plugin called Spider Spanker. It's made by a good friend of mine, Todd Spears, and what it helps do is it helps block the link aggregators. A link aggregator is somewhere like Ahrefs or Majestic SEO or Open Site Explorer, the places that show what links are going to a website. Okay, so when you're analyzing competition, you may go check out that website in Ahrefs to see, where are they getting their links, how are they doing their anchor text, and all that stuff. Well, what Spider Spanker does, one of the things that it does is it helps block those major bots, okay, those major link aggregators, so our links won't show up when people do link reports on it. So, I have sites ranking #1 that when you go and put them in these tools, they'll show no links, because I'm blocking them. I'm blocking them from those stats. So people will be like, well, how's this guy ranking with no links? Well, I really have links, but they're just not being shown. So the first reason to block is to keep your competition from knowing how you're doing SEO. They can't copy what you're doing. The second reason is so that you hide your network. Okay, if you're in a market and someone analyzes your site and they find out you have a whole bunch of blog network sites, they can gather them up, report them to Google, and then you're a good chance you're going to be your network's going to be taken out. So if you block these major link aggregators, a lot less chance of that happening. Now there's a low chance of that happening even when you don't block, because most people won't go to that extreme. But when you do block, it's just another safety measure. No one can see what you're doing. And even for the sake of not being safe, I just like blocking just so people don't know what I'm doing. They don't know how I'm doing SEO, and it's awesome. And people used to block these link aggregators through htaccess and robots files, through special code in there. But that's not working anymore, or it's not working as well. Spider Spanker pretty much blocks 100% for these major aggregators. People can still find your links if they really know what they're doing, but for the most part, 99% of people will not be able to find your links. Okay, so how you do this? You go to plugins. First of all, you got to get Spider Spanker. Okay, it's Todd's plugin. I believe it's like $37 for the regular version. And there's like an upsell that has different features on. I did the upsell. It's up to you if you do it or not. You go to plugins. You go to add new, and then you would upload it. Okay, because it's a file. You got to buy it. Again, it's like $37 for the regular version. And then what you want to do is you want to go to browse and you want to pick the Spider Spanker Pro RAR file or zip file, whatever you have it as, and then install now. Okay, I'm going to go pick that file, and I will be right back. Okay, so here I am. Here's the Spider Spanker Pro folder. Here's my file that I got when I bought it. Double click it, install it. Activate. Alright, so now it's all activated. Now you see it down here, SS Pro. So now we're going to click on that. Now I already installed this on this domain as an example earlier. Usually what comes up is you got to put in your key, your license key. You'll get that when you buy it. Put in your license key, click register, and then this is the screen you get. Okay, you didn't see that step because I already registered for this site, but you will get a license key. All you got to do is put it in that screen, hit register, and this is the screen you then see. Alright, from here, you want to copy these 6 bot names, and I'll give those to you. You want to go down here, you want to go to cut paste, and you can see they're already in here because I already did this example. Then you would paste them in and hit update, and then go down and hit save settings. And then you're good to go, okay? And you would install this on each blog network site that you don't want shown link, which is all of them for me. I install this on all of my network sites. You can even install this on money sites if you want, because it helps do things like block hackers. It helps keep bad bots off your site, which can conserve your servers. So you can install this on all your sites, but for the purpose of a network, you want to install it on your actual network sites. That's how you block the link aggregators, by installing on your network sites. Some people get confused, or they don't remember, do I install it on my money site? Do I install it on my network sites? You install it on your network sites to block, because that network site, you're saying, what Squarespace is saying is, I'm blocking the link aggregators from showing where I'm linking out to. Okay, that way it won't show up when people analyze your money site. So to block the link aggregators, if you install it on the blog network sites, but Todd recommends installing this on all your sites. It can help with your server. It can help with hackers and stuff like that. So it's a great plugin and just awesome for blocking link aggregators. I use it on all my sites. It does a very, very good job. Nothing out there like it right now. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I really recommend using this plugin, getting it, and using it to help protect yourself and just help protect what you're doing with SEO. Talk to you soon. Alright guys, in this video I want to talk about hosting for your sites. As I mentioned, I've been in contact with Dory Friend, who did a lot of the public blog networks for the last few years, but some of them got the index and stuff. Again, I've been in contact with Todd Spears, who's the guy who invented SEO hosting. And Todd's take is that using SEO hosting is fine. Dory's take is you shouldn't use SEO hosting. Look, the way I look at it is, Todd's successfully using SEO hosting. Dory's successfully not using SEO hosting. I like using a mix of everything, okay? I mean, when you think about it, just because you have SEO hosting, which is, unique IPs for each site, just because, even if Google can identify, which they can, I think, identify, that a certain IP is an SEO hosting IP, doesn't mean they can penalize that site. I believe that's against the law, and they just can't do that. They can't do it. It's not logical. So I personally just like to use a mix of everything. Okay. Some of my favorite SEO hosting companies are SEOhosting.com, and this is for blog network sites. For my money sites, I like SEOhosting.com for money sites. And then for the rest of these, it's up to you if you want to do that. But this is for blog network sites. SEOhosting.com, they're expensive but great support. HostSEO.org, SEOWebHosting.net, BizBuilderHosting.com. This is Todd Spears' company. And the cool thing about Todd Spears' company is he's like a small hosting company. So his IPs aren't as much on the radar. So that's a good thing about his. But since it's a small company, the support's not as good. It's decent. Like, it just sometimes they take a little bit to get back to you and stuff. So, and then there's Bluehost, who I use. If you get a reseller account, you can get dedicated IPs. And a dedicated IP is, you get a different IP each time, and that IP is only assigned to you. Okay. So I use a mix of unique IPs, dedicated IPs, then I also use shared hosting, so just regular hosting accounts. You go get a baby HostGator account. What Dory Friend does is she gets a bunch of these mom and pop, so to speak, hosting company accounts. She'll just get one account for one domain, and that's it. Okay, and it's just it's like a shared IP, so that kind of looks natural as well. You have all these sites on shared IPs, like across like a normal hosting account, and that looks very normal because a bunch of people are using that IP. A bunch of people are. There's also people using the SEO hosting IPs. It's just people get worried because they're identified as SEO hosting IPs. So it's just that more people use the shared hosting for regular hosting, I believe. I'm not very technical, but I think that's almost a good thing that I'm not as technical, because I can step back and look at it from a different point of view. I think a lot of these people who are really technical and really understand the stuff might look into it too much sometimes. So what I like to do, I just like to use a mix of everything. I probably use mostly SEO hosting just because it's simple. I use some dedicated IPs from Bluehost.com using a reseller account. And then I'll also use some shared hosting, where you go to HostGator, buy a baby hosting account, and just host one site on there. Or if you want, you can host a few sites if they're in different niches. But that's a little risky. Some people, I shouldn't say a little risky, but there is risk involved with it. Some people believe it's okay to have a few different sites for each IP. Again, I like to be safe and have each site on a different IP, especially for my blog network sites. Okay. But I just want to kind of talk about, what different people think. Like, Dory says that, you can't use SEO hosting safely, but you can because I've been doing it for a while now, and, Todd's been doing it for 10 years safely, and he's never had a problem, he said. He's also using a network that isn't as on the radar, but still, there's a lot of rumors going on too, in like Black Hat forums especially, that you're stupid if you use SEO hosting for your blog networks, but I'm doing it fine. I mean, Todd's doing it fine. And then of course Dory says that shared hosting is the way to go. The thing about shared hosting, which again is normal hosting accounts, like normal mom and pop hosting accounts, or if you go to HostGator and get like a baby account, just like a normal hosting account. The thing about those is it's a pain in the ass to organize and set up. If you get hundreds of different domains and each of those are on a different hosting account, that is a pain, okay? And that's why Todd Spears invented SEO hosting, so you can add a bunch of sites to the same hosting account but get a different IP for each, all right? So that's the thing with hosting. Again, I'm not very technical, but what makes sense to me is just mixing it up. Just like I know you guys heard me say that probably a million times in this course, but it's true because that's what's natural. Just mix it up. It's always worked for me. Just blend in, look natural. Have some SEO hosting sites, have some dedicated IPs. Have some shared hosting accounts, but I mostly go with dedicated IPs and SEO hosting IPs, just because shared hosting is a pain. It's a pain in the butt. Dory Friend has a service where she'll build blog networking sites for you, and she does them all in shared hosting accounts. And there's like a service she uses where they're all set up. It's like kind of managed easier somehow. I don't know how she does it, but I order from sites from her, and those are my sites that are on shared IPs. The thing with her sites is she just goes off age and relevancy. She doesn't really go after the links because she's trying to provide a low-dollar service for people. Normally she admits that the links, adding the links in as well, is much more powerful. But again, she's probably trying to provide that service that's affordable, where people can get a lot out of it still. Even though it's not as powerful with the links. So she just goes after age and relevancy. If you're interested in looking into her service, but I just kind of want to give a background about what people are saying about. As far as using hosting and unique IPs, dedicated IPs, shared hosting, because there's a lot of controversy around what works and what doesn't. But I think it doesn't really depend on one thing. It's everything. I showed you guys how to safely set them up. It depends on that. It depends how you add your content. It depends how well you're mixing up your IPs and different IPs. And I don't like all my IPs with one hosting account. Like I like some with SEO hosting. I like some with Host SEO. I like some with this account. I like some with them. I like some with Bluehost. And there's even other companies that I'm going to continue to go with. Okay, this is the list I'm using right now, though. All right. I actually just got a dedicated server from Todd Spears with 100 IPs on it, and Dory told me that's no good. But Todd's like, no, because I've been doing that for years. Because he has it set up a different way supposedly. So, they're both experts in the field, probably two of the best. They've both been doing it for 5+ years, and they both say different things. That's just difference of opinions there. Different things work for different people, so just be careful about what you hear. If you really look into this stuff, you'll probably see people in the Black Hat forum saying, using SEO hostings for beginners and blah blah blah. But a lot of those people just talk, and they've never even done it themselves. Like I said, I've been successfully doing it for a few months now. Todd's been successfully doing it for years and years and years. I believe he said like 9 years he's been doing it successfully. All right. So I just wanted again to talk about the hosting situation. You can probably just start with SEO hosting because that's the easiest, and then once you get the hang of it, you can go to maybe do some shared hosting if you want. Maybe do some dedicated IPs with Bluehost or other places. But I think you're fine starting with any kind of SEO hosting company. Any of these four, they're all pretty easy to use. Todd doesn't have a WHM. He just has the cPanel part. So it is a little different with him, and again, the support's not like it's kind of a smaller company, so the support's not like a big company you would get. Then SEOhosting.com is more expensive, but they have great support. And these two, SEO web hosting is very cheap. They do like $1.50 per IP. Um, so, it just depends what you want to do, but I think you're pretty safe starting with some SEO hosting. Just get your first whatever sites on an SEO hosting and you should be fine. And then if you end up building a really big network, you can move to some dedicated IPs and some shared hosting like I'm doing. So I already have probably 200 sites. I'm going to probably have thousands. So I really got to mix it up. All right, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you soon. All right, guys. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up WordPress, or the settings that I use. Remember, to get to your WordPress, you just go to wp-admin, and it'll bring you to this page right here. And you just log in with whatever you set up. I did admin and my password. Alright, so the first thing, some of my sites I'll update, some I won't, just to kind of mix it up. For this one, I'll go ahead and update to the latest version of WordPress. Again, some I will, some I won't, just to mix it up. I would say most of the time I do update it. Alright, so now we can get back to the dashboard. So, most of them update. Next, we'll go to our post. I'm going to go ahead and trash that. Now we'll go to our pages, and I'll go ahead and trash that. Make sure there's no links in here. I'm going to trash all these links. Alright, so now we'll go to our post categories, and we want to add in some categories here. So I'm going to do general health. I'm going to do weight loss. I'm going to do dieting. And I'm going to do building muscle. Alright, so just want to add in a few categories there. Now we want to go to settings, general, make sure everything's set up correctly here. We've got name of the site, tagline. This is really important. For this right here, what I like to do is check to see which version is getting the links. Okay, so if we go over to Open Site Explorer and type in our site name, alright, so this version has 842, 2336, so that's probably the version we'll be using. Let's try www. Alright, so it is without www that we're going to use. Alright, now if I was going to change this, like if the www had more links than this version, I would change this. So I would add www.here and then www.here, and I would go down and click Save Changes, and it'll log you out because it's now a different URL. So just be aware of that. But I do check to see which URL, whether it's with www or without it, gets more links. As you can see, since I added it, now that's in here. But now I'm going to go back and change it back because without it has more links for this site. So let's go update this again. I think it's going to log me out again. Yeah, because it changes. You see now it's showing without www. We want it to show without because this particular site has links built to the one without www, or most of the links. Okay, so I definitely always check that. Make sure you have a unique email in here. Make sure you have what you want up here, and we'll go ahead and just make sure that's saved. For most of my sites, I do add the permalinks. You can mix it up. You can do default if you want. You can do this for some. You can do this for some. You can do this for some. Whatever you want to do. Most of mine, I just do the regular post name. You can also do slash category, then slash post name. You can do that as well. So, whatever you want. I'll just do category post name for this one. But you don't want to always have the same thing. Just mix this up as well. But I would say most of mine are just with post name, I guess. Alright, so we got our permalinks in there. Now we're going to go to appearance. And I try to use different themes on a lot of them. So let's just go search for a decent theme here. I like to pick ones that show like the whole post. There's some that like show just partial post. I like to have ones that show the whole post. Sometimes it's hard to tell which ones show the whole post, but this one looks like it shows the whole post What I mean by that is instead of showing just like the first paragraph and then a read more link, I like ones that show the whole post. Okay, we'll use this one. It looks like it shows the whole post. So I'm going to activate that. Okay, now let's just go see what this theme looks like really quick. Alright. So we got our theme set up. Now we want to go to our plugins. Just delete the Hello Dolly theme. Activate your Akismet plugin, or Akismet, however you pronounce that. Enter your API key. I'm not going to do that, just because I'm not going to put my key right on the camera, but it's free to set up. Just if you don't have one, just go set it up. Okay, it's totally free. You can go right here and get one. So that's the first plugin I do is Akismet, just to control comment spam. The second one is Google XML Sitemaps. Install. And then the last one is one that I'll provide for you guys. It's called Link Juice Keeper. It's a .rar file. You got to upload it from your computer. It's basically a plugin where it takes the old links and redirects them all to your home page. So let me bring up a notepad here. So if my site's http healthyhomeandlife.com, okay. So if the previous owner of this site had a page, like building muscle fast, and he had 10 links going to this page, well, since we have this new site, this page doesn't exist anymore, okay? So what this next plugin is going to do is it's going to redirect those links to that page to our home page, okay? So it's basically we're not wasting the links, the previous links, because we don't have all the pages that the previous owner had, so it's going to redirect all the links to those inner pages that we no longer have to the home page. Alright, so we can keep all that link juice. So, a really powerful plugin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Upload. I'm going to go to Choose File, and I'm just going to choose the RAR file from my desktop. That's all you do. Okay, I'll provide that file for you guys. Just download it to your desktop. Go to Plugins, Add New, Upload, Choose File, then just choose that RAR file. Okay, I'm going to pause while I do that. Alright, so here's the folder that my file's in. Here it is right here. Again, I'm going to provide you this file. It's just a RAR file. All you do is download the RAR file. You don't need to touch it. Again, you go to Plugins, Add New, Upload, Choose File, choose this file from your desktop. Okay, so I'm going to double click on that, Install Now, and Activate. Alright, so now we got that activated. It will, as you can see, this plugin helps you to keep the link juice by redirecting all non-existing URLs, which normally return a 404 error, to the front blog page using a 301 redirect. Alright. So again, a very powerful plugin, helps you not waste your link juice. But that's how you set up your blog. Now this blog is ready to roll. We can make a post. In the next video, I will show you how I make a post. Alright, see you guys then. Hey everyone, Greg here again. In this video, we're going to be talking about how I post to my network now. Of course, we already got WordPress installed. We're logged into WordPress here, and this is what we see. Let's just pretend this is one of my blog network sites. Of course, this is an example site, lowermoneymakers.com. It's not a blog network site, but we're just using it as an example. So we're going to pretend this is a network site. I would log in, and remember, I already have the site set up. We already showed the site setup video. Now this video is showing you how to post, okay? The first thing you need to know is I always make posts, okay, because the posts show up on the home screen. You can control how many posts show up on the home screen by going to Settings, and I believe it's in Reading. Yeah, Settings, Reading. If you want 20 posts to show, you can do that. I usually do somewhere between 10 and 20. I usually leave it at 10. Then if I need more, I'll change it. All right, let's go back here. That's how you can change that. But I always do post when I'm doing my network sites. Alright? So let's go to Post and Add New. Then I got an article here. It's just on horses. Just random topic. So I'm just going to paste in the article. Oh, and for articles, I get my content from a guy named... Let's see. His name is Fapcent. Or this is his email. Fapcent@gmail.com. He writes all my blog network content because he's cheap. He charges $1 per 250 words. Just tell him, your referral of Greg. Some people have complained that his articles aren't that great. I've never had a problem with them. Sometimes I'll get a little bit of spelling errors, but it's always highlighted. All I have to do is go click on it and just change it really quick. I'll just look over an article for 20 seconds, just change up the spelling. But as far as like sentence structure, that almost always is on point for me. So if you have trouble with him, I apologize, but he's always good for me. Okay, and he's cheap, and the content always passes Copyscape for me. So that's what I'm worried about. I'm now using unique articles each time. What I'll do is I'll order X amount of articles. I just order them 750 words. Sometimes I'll post all 750 words for the post. Sometimes I'll take out the first 250 words and post that, and then save the next 500 for the next post. Sometimes I'll take out half the article, post that, and then for another post I'll use the other half. So I split it up. Sometimes I use the whole article. Sometimes it costs me $3 to make one post. Sometimes it costs me $1.50. Sometimes it costs me a dollar. Whatever a third is, a dollar, obviously. So that's how I do it. I order 750 word articles. Sometimes I'll use the whole thing. Sometimes I'll use half. Sometimes I'll use a quarter or a third. That's how I do it. All right, and I order from this guy here. He sends me all unique content. I use the article once, and then I don't use it again. I used to spin, but I don't do that anymore. I think they're catching on to spinning. Mostly like really crappy spins they're catching on to. Like you'd be fine spinning, having it well spun and using it a decent amount of times, but just to be extra safe, I'm using unique content each time. Alright, so I got my article posted in here. I will just make sure it's formatted. Correctly. Alright. Now I'm going to go put my title in. Let's call it Buying High Quality Horse Equipment. Alright. Sometimes I'll bold this, center it, H1 it, H2 it, whatever. I'll switch things up when I do these. I don't always do it the same way. Sometimes I'll add categories, sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll add tags, sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll add both, sometimes I'll add neither. So I really switch it up. In this case, I'll just do animals for the category. I'm not going to do any tags. Next time I post, I might, for this whatever site I'd be building these links for, maybe I'll do no categories. Okay, so I really switch this part up a lot. One thing I always do now, almost always, is add authority links. So I'll just look for a good word to do for an authority link. A horse hack. I don't know what a horse hack is, so that'd be a good thing to link to. So I'll just go type horse hack in Google. You can also use the Finder tool, but Wikipedia is always good to link to, so I'll copy that, and we'll link out to Wikipedia. And the idea here is that the links going to our site are paired with links going to other trusted sites. If Google sees us linking to trusted sites and also linking to our site, the idea there is that they give us more credit. We're being linked to with trusted sites, which is a good thing. Sometimes I'll do one authority link, sometimes two, every once in a while three, every once in a while none. I'll switch that up. Right, but then I would work in my keywords, okay, whatever I want to build a link for. So let's say I wanted to build a link for how to train a horse, okay, and these are general articles, so how to train a horse probably isn't in here. So I'll just look for a good place to put it. So buying high quality equipment will ensure you and the horse are safe when you are learning how to train your horse. Okay. And of course I would highlight this. I would link it to my money site. Sometimes I'll do the same anchor text for the title. I always put a title though for the keyword. I'll just put training horses for this one though. Like I'll switch it up. Sometimes I would put how to train your horse, sometimes how to train a horse, training horses, train a horse. I'll switch that up. Then sometimes when I make posts, I'll link to 2 pages of my site, sometimes 3 pages, not that often. Usually it's 1 or 2. But if I want to add another one, I'll do the same thing. Just go add another link to another page of my site, or another totally different site. If I have another site on horses, you can do that as well. Just be careful pairing up the same 2 sites too many times. If I'm linking to site A on horses and site B on horses, you don't want to pair them up too many times. Just use good judgment there. You don't want to go build 100 links on 100 network sites, all linking to the same 2 sites. That's a pattern. All right. Another thing I'll do is I'll add videos sometimes. So I'll just go to YouTube. Again, you can use the Finder tool to find these quicker. I'm just showing you how to do this manually. Adding videos can help get your links indexed quicker. You just go to Share, Embed. It'll let me copy it. Alright, that one's not working. That's weird. I don't know if I'm frozen or what. Stupid ads. Alright, so let's try this again. Share, embed. I don't know why that's not working. That's weird. Let me try it in Chrome. There we go. So you just copy the embed code there. And then usually what I do is wherever I want it, I'll put it anywhere in the article. I'll do a space, like that. It's a blank line. And then I'll go to text. And I'll just put it right where that was. I'll do center, paste, and the center. That will center the video. And there's our video. You can also add pictures. Sometimes I'll add video and pictures. Sometimes just video. Sometimes just pictures. Again, I mix it up there. Sometimes neither. So that's how you make posts generally. I switch things up. I use unique content. Sometimes I'll just link out to one money page. Sometimes I'll link out to 2. You can link out to 2 pages on the same site, 2 different pages. You link out 2 totally different sites. Just try not to create patterns. And I do recommend putting in authority links with your post because that, again, shows that you're also linking out to other trusted sites. Minimum of 1 usually. Sometimes I'll do 2, 3. All right. Now just hit publish and that's it. I'm not going to publish this because it's just an example here. But that's how I make posts to my network. Hope you enjoyed this video. Talk to you soon.
Hey, this is Mike. I'm back with James, and this is exciting. This is a custom lesson for NHBers that Greg wanted me to ask James about how to use Magic Submitter to submit to our beast, to our blog network. And James, you said this is quick and easy.
It's very quick and easy. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click share screens. So just let me know when my screen comes up. And I'll show you just really how simple it is to be able to.
Okay, it's up.
Fantastic. So, in Magic Submitter, we just need to make sure if we're using WordPress blogs, all we need to do is just select WordPress blogs from the drop-down menu. And if we go into the Designer tab, which is the second tab along from the top, we can click on that. And what we need to do is we need to look for WP3 service. You can see it's the top one here on my site. All we need to do is just double click on this and click Add Child Services and then just put Add Login. So if I was to put mine in and just click Add, when I do that, it will then be added to the bottom of the Magic Submitter software. Just bear with me 1 second. You'll see now that my blog is in the bottom of the software down here. Can you see that?
I see it.
Okay. Then the next thing I would need to do is I would just need to put the details that I use to log into the back end of my blog in the login name, and I would put my password in here. Just bear with me 1 second, Mike, just while I'm going to do that, but obviously this is going to go out, so I'd like to make sure that the username and password is not on the video. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's just fine.
I'll have 500 people logging into it tomorrow. Just bear with me. I don't actually know how to pull screen sharing on this.
No problem. Yeah, it's not screen sharing right now.
Oh, is it not? Okay,
Yeah, I see
cool.
your face. I see your face.
Okay, fantastic. So I'm just going to quickly put my details in here. Um, I'm just going to have to try and remember what they are. Just bear with me 1 second. It's the hardest bit of putting it in there. That's just remembering what your username and password is for your login. Everything else is dead simple. Just bear with me 1 second. I'll just get in there now. Okay. Okay, great. So I've just added those in. So I'll start screen sharing again. So all I did was I added my book and I've just put my login details and password in. Now, these WordPress blogs do require that there are categories, and by default there are no categories selected. So all we need to do is just click on this check mark and then click on Run User Defined Commands so that Magic Submitter can just quickly log into our blog and pull our categories off. And then once it logs in and pulls the categories off, we'll then be able to post to it just like we would any other site. It should just take a couple of seconds for it to be able to go in. So I've got a message now come up saying submitted. And now if I click on this categories list, you'll see these are the categories that I've got inside my blog. I've got a Magic Submitter one and an uncategorized one.
Nice.
So that's perfect now. So all I would do is just, as I did a campaign, if I wanted to, I could just select all of my blogs and then it'll only post to them and none of the other stuff. Or you can obviously do it as part of a full campaign so you're getting the power of the whole of Magic Submitter whilst posting to your own blogs as well.
Nice.
Okay? Is that straightforward enough?
It is. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'll stop this recording so we've got it saved in one place, and then we'll start again in a second.
Hey everyone, Greg here. I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of these custom tools I had built for myself. Originally, I wasn't going to give them to anyone, but blog networks are becoming even more and more important. So I'm gonna get it out there. Originally, I didn't want to just because of the piracy, but if it gets out, it gets out. I mean, they will help you organize and stuff and do things a little quicker. You can find your own ways of what you want to use them. So this is the Blog Network Manager. When you unzip it, this is what will come out. It might not have poster in here, but all this stuff will come out. All right, then you just click on Blog Network Manager. Okay, and then I'll explain these buttons in just a minute here. So what you want to do is, of course, add blogs when you get them. So let's use an example site, Delaware Moneymakers. That's just an example site. So you put in the login and password. And then you can choose a category. Okay, so I'm going to put this in money. Add. Okay, let's say we had example.com, admin, test. Let's say we want this one in health. Okay. And then let's say we got example2.com, admin. And then we also want this one in health. So we just go down and click health and then add. Okay, so then you just click out of here when you add them all. You can organize by blog up here, like what network. A lot of my networks I use for general now because it seems like relevancy isn't like super important still, but still for my big niches I do try to build relevant networks where I'll just use it for that specific things, and that's for my bigger niches, for like my big clients and all that stuff. So I do have my specific niches as I've talked about, but a lot of my sites now are just general, where I'll post anything to them. All right, but when I post, I usually do a relevant article to what I'm posting to. If I'm posting about, LCD TVs or something like that, I'm going to make sure it's an article on TVs at least, or LCD TVs. Alright. Then you can expand the sidebar over there so you can see more. Just go to sidebar and you can go from normal to wide. I usually just do wide. And then what you do is you just pick the site you want to post to. Okay, this is all spinnable. You can spin this. Alright, so you ever say the title, or this title, or the subject, or this subject, and regular spinning. Same thing with the article. Okay, and then to get your links in, you just do the href equals site.com. Then you can spin the anchor text, anchor 1 or anchor 2, you know, whatever. You can spin more than that. It's just an example. Okay, so you just do it like a regular article, just like we would do for anything else. You can spin it. Well, you know what I've been doing lately? I've just been ordering articles and just posting that one article once. Just you'll probably want to spin your articles to save money. Now, I used to get one article, spin it in Spin Rewriter, which is like, I think it's like $67 for a year. It just automatically spins it, and I would use it like 3 to 5 times. But now I just order articles and just use them once and then move on, just because it's easier for me. You know, they're only $2 a piece, so it's not a big deal. These down here, I don't use this picture thing. I'm not even sure what it does. YouTube, this is really cool. Let's say we want to embed a video. Let's say we want to embed a video and make money online. This is so you don't have to go out and search YouTube and find videos and spin them in your content. Okay, so let's say I want to find 10 videos with that keyword in it. I just do find videos and then insert, and it'll randomly select one of those 10 videos to put in. Because if you're posting the same article to 5 sites, it's like a well-spun article, you're posting it to 5 sites, it's most likely going to pick 5 different videos. So each time it goes out, it's going to be a different video. Helps randomize. Okay. Same thing for the A, except this is for outbound authority links. So let's say we want, you can do PR5 or better for the keyword money. Add links. Same thing, it'll pick one of these 10 links, which are about money, and their PR5s are better, so that's a good outbound authority link. Because this can just save a lot of time because it's just automatic. You know, you don't have to go to Google, search, find a good site with PR to link to, and copy the URL and all that. You just go here, click, put in the keyword, the PR up and above you want, and then hit search, and it will automatically put it in there for you. Okay. So let's now go make a sample post or publish it. Sometimes I publish from here. Sometimes I just go to the site and publish manually because with this you can't choose categories or tags. And sometimes I use them, sometimes I don't. I just like to switch it up. You know, everything random. Sometimes I'll post without tags or categories. Sometimes I'll post with them. Sometimes I'll post with just categories. Sometimes just tags. So I switch it up. I would say more often than not I just go in and manually post to the sites now, but I will use this sometimes. I mostly use this just for organization. Like you can kind of organize them by, network. You can even organize them like, okay, these sites all have 0 posts. These sites all have 1 to 5 posts. You can organize them like that. It's just a good organization tool. Keep track of all your sites. All right. So now if I just click on this and go click publish, well, let's actually go to the site first. Alright, so there's nothing on here right now. So if we just go to publish, you'll see publishing on, completed. As long as this is okay, it's published. Alright, so now if we go back here and reload, there we go. Okay, it came out to this subject, spun article, anchor 1, it put in this random video, and then a link to twitter.com/money. Alright, so that's how it works. Of course, you would do a normal article and work in the authority links if you're going to use them, work in the videos if you're going to use them, work in your anchor text as you want to use them. I'm just showing you the code that you use with this tool. Alright, but again, I mainly use it for organization to know, what sites are where and all that type of stuff. Alright, so that's that tool. I don't use the current or the picture. I don't even know what they do. He never explained it to me, so... Alright, now of course if you want to remove blogs, you just go to add remove, you would click here, you gotta make sure it's blue here, and then remove. Okay, and it will remove it. And of course we can organize by money, just the money sites, or health, just the health sites. Alright, and the second tool that I'm going to share is called Finder. Some of you already have this. You can use this for other stuff, kind of like the same thing in a way. YouTube, we want YouTube videos on money again. Find videos, we want 10 of them. There's 10 videos on money. Okay. Some of this data is like weird. It comes back like the videos are weird. So what you can do is you can go to Notepad, you can paste them all in, and then you can just copy this, go to Edit, Replace, and this is a really good tool for other stuff too, this Edit, Replace. You just paste that in and we want to replace it with nothing. Okay, and then we got all the normal video links. Alright, so that's how you can do that. So that gets videos, this gets random authority links, again we want money, PR5 or better, 10 of them, add links. And this will give you the links, and it gives you it without the spin code, whereas the other program gives it with the spin code. And then the last one is pictures. So, we want 10 pictures on money, insert, there's 10 pictures on money. Okay? So, Blog Network Poster and Finder, those are the two tools I'm giving away for free. Please don't share them, NHB only, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Alright everyone, in this video we're going to be covering commonly asked blog network questions. Now these are the questions that I constantly get from people, so I want to shoot a video on it to help clear all this stuff up. So the questions are getting repeated over and over again. So let's start at the beginning. The first question I get is, do I make poster pages? And the answer is post. Okay, this is just an example so I'm doing. Don't pay attention, there's pages here. This is just for the example for the silo I did. But this would usually say 0, okay? And we would make post. So if this was a network site and I was going in to build links to my websites, I would go to post, add new, and I would make post. Okay, we want to do all posts for our blog network site. The reason we do that is because they show up on the home page. The home page is where all the juice is. Okay, if the link appears on the home page, you're going to get a lot more juice than if it was appearing on a page that's inside the website, on an inner URL that has no links to it. Okay, so when we do our posts, those posts appear on the home page, and they get that home page juice. So that's why we want to do post. So again, imagine these weren't here, because this is just an example site, we would do post. Pages would say 0, we would start doing post. Right? The next question I get is, how many posts should I do on each site? Alright, and the answer, it depends on what you want to do. The more links you have on your homepage, you're going to get a little less out of each link. And I want to make sure you know that people greatly exaggerate how much less juice you get for every link. People say, well, if you have 10 links, you get so much more juice if you have 20. Not really. You don't really get that much more from 10 to 20. 10 to 500, yeah, that can start making a pretty big difference. But for the most part, average, I would say I don't want any more than 100 links on my home page. Okay, do I have some sites that have more? I'm sure I do. Okay, I don't worry too much about it, but that's the range that I wouldn't go too much over, is around 100. Because you're not losing that much juice for each additional link. You can change how many posts appear on the home page by going to Settings, Reading, and the max amount of posts that I have appear on the home page is usually 20. Usually I stick around 10 or under, but you can go, you can go to more than 20 if you want, but that's where I would put my ceiling. I do have some sites that go over 10. I wouldn't let them go over 20. That's just me. But this is where you can change that. Most themes come with 10 posts on the home page. That's the original setting. Some come with 3. Just be aware of that. When you might want to check each time, because you might make posts and you might do 4 posts and the one of those posts won't show on the home page and you aren't aware of it, because some themes do only have 3 showing. So you may want to come check the settings, reading, and then set how many you have, how many you want. I usually leave it at 10, and if I get to 10 I want more, I'll increase it to 15, 20, whatever. But that's how you change that, and the max amount of posts again that I have appearing on the home page is 20. Most of my sites will either be at or around 10, eventually. Most of my sites are under 10 right now because I have so many sites. The next question I get is, how many money sites can I link to for my post? Alright, so let's go to our post here. I set up a draft so we can go do an example. The answer is you can link to as many money sites as you want in a post. I usually don't go over 3. The thing you want to be aware of is creating patterns. Okay, if say you got site A, site money site B, money site C. If you link to all 3 in this post, okay, then you go to a different site and you link to all the same 3 again, and then you do it again and again and again. that's when you can start running into problems when you're creating patterns. And you're linking to the same 3 money sites on tons of different network sites. If you do it 5 or 6 times, are they going to catch on? Probably not. If you do it 50 times, are they going to catch on? Probably not, but you want to be safe, okay? The 5 to 6 time range, you probably have like nothing at all to worry about. When you start getting up where you're doing it 20, 30, 40, 50 more times, that's when I would start like really paying attention to it. You're much more likely to get caught then. Will you get caught? Still, probably not, but it's important enough that you want to pay attention to it and just avoid it because it's something easy to avoid. You can link to money site A, B, C in this one, and then the next one you can link to A, D, and E. So you can switch it up like that where you're using different combinations of money sites you're linking to. I usually don't link to more than 2 money sites in the same post though, and usually it's just one. And what I do is I link to different pages of that same money site. Sometimes I'll link to 1 page of a money site, sometimes I'll link to 2, sometimes 3. I would say my average is 2. Okay. So to do an example for that, let's say that I'm linking to a gold site. Okay. So I might do like, let's say I want to rank for gold investing. So this will be my first site. Let's say my site is gold.com/gold investing. Okay, so that's one link. I'm going to the page gold investing. Gold investing. Alright, so that would be one link to another page. Let's say I also want to rank, or I'm also doing like a page on gold bullion coins. So I can also link to that page as well. Gold.com/gold bullion coins. And don't pay attention to the URLs, I'm just kind of giving examples here. Coins. Alright, so that would be linking to 2 pages of the same site. That's okay to do. I do it all the time. I did it a whole bunch for klks.com. Okay, so you don't want to do it every single time. Sometimes I'll just link to 1 page, just because they pay attention to the amount of referring domains and all that stuff. And you don't want to create patterns. You don't want to link to 2 pages every single time, like hundreds of times, or even 20, 40 times, or whatever. So that's why sometimes I'll just link to 1, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. I mix it up. Okay. But you can also link to different money sites, no problem there. Again, just be careful of the patterns. The patterns is the one of the things that you want to really be careful of. All of us have different resources. Some of us might have 5 network sites, some might have 30, some might have 100, some might have a few hundred. So you just gotta kind of keep the amount of resources you have in mind, and just be as safe as you can. Are you going to get caught for patterns? The answer is most likely not. Of course, the more patterns you create, the more likely you get caught, but more than likely you probably won't get caught, but why not take the precaution? You don't want to get a whole network taken out because you didn't take precautions that are pretty easy to take. So that explains the question of how many sites can I link to in a post. Can I link to different money sites? Can I link to different pages of the same site? All that, you can do all that. Just be aware of the patterns. Then again, max 20 posts on each page, or 20 posts on each network site for me. I usually keep it around 10, though, around there. I try not to go over 100 links for any one site. Most of my sites, I'd say almost all my sites are under 100 links. I might have a few that are over, but I have so many sites that I'm able to spread my resources out. So, but again, just use what you have as a resource. If you only have 5 sites, that's fine. You're not going to create many patterns with 5 sites. That's one good part of having a little amount of sites, is you can kind of go all out with 5 sites, because if you link to all the same 3 money sites on all 5 sites, that's not a big deal. It's only 5 sites. They can't say, oh, these 5 sites are... It's not... Remember, Google is a search engine. It's not like a human. There's billions of pages on the web. It's not like they're going to like zoom in laser beam on your 5 sites and say, oh, these 5 sites link to the same 3 sites. It's like a needle in a haystack. Okay, so just be aware of that. Now, if you have 100 sites all linking to the same 3 sites, are you going to get caught? Probably not, but it increases your chances a good amount. That's like 100 needles in a haystack. You're more likely to find it. Okay, so again, just be aware of those patterns. Those are the biggest questions I get. Also, one of the other questions I get is, do I need to find relevant... This is actually a big one. Do I need to find relevant network sites? The answer is no. Okay, you're getting a lot of your ranking power from the juice going to the site, not necessarily it being relevant. Does it being relevant help? I'm sure it does. Will it get more important? It may. Will it end up being vital? It may. Right now, it's not. Okay, most of my sites linking to KLKS and my other sites are totally irrelevant. A lot of people think that you have to go in and find, if you're doing a gold site, you got to find stuff on money or gold or investing. Not the case. You can go find stuff on e-cigarettes or on government stuff, whatever, and the link juice helps you rank. It's the juice. The links going to that site. That's why I say focus on the links. The links going to your network site are what power you. All right. Now, can setting up? Another question I get is, can I link out to different niches from a site? So, for example, say this was a network site. Could I link out to gold on this post, then the next post link out to SEO? The answer is yes. I do it. Okay. But of course, linking out to just one niche and retheming a site and just sticking to that one niche, is that safer? Yeah, I'm sure it is. Okay. If someone looks at your site and it's about gold and a manual of if it's about gold, if it's about dogs, if it's about SEO, they're more likely to know what's going on. So it's a little greater risk, but I've had no problems with it. Right now, it's working extremely good. It just depends how safe you want to be. Of course, you can go out and get sites and make them one theme. If you're in just one big niche, or even just like two big niches, you can split up your sites. Have one network for this niche, one network for this niche, if you want to be safe. Most of my network sites, I'll link out to anything. Okay, I do have network sites, probably like 50 of my 500 or so, that are for one specific niche where I won't go outside that niche. But for the most part, most of my network is general. I'll link to anything on that site. It doesn't matter if it's in the same niche. All that matters is the article I'm writing that's linking out to my money site is relevant. So, for example, if I'm linking out to my gold sites, I want to make sure I do an article on gold. Now, the next post I do on this site, it can be about SEO, but the article has to be about SEO. Okay, it can't be about gold and I work in SEO. I won't do that. But I will do different topics on the same site. But I'll split up my network where I have, those 50 sites for my most important niche, and I won't link to any other niche from those 50 sites. So I do that a little bit, but most of my network is general, where again I'll link to anything. And just keep the safety in mind. If you want to be extra safe, just link to one niche from that network. Just dedicate a network to that niche and only link to that niche, and that's being a little more safe. How you set up your sites can help you be more safe. I just install just regular WordPress themes and just make posts. Some people will go extra mile. They'll actually get a designer. They'll do a whole website design so it looks like a normal website. They'll put in social stuff. All the extra steps you do is going to help you be a little extra safe. You just got to make the decision, is it worth your time? For me right now, I don't see them catching on to it yet, so I'm not that worried about it. If things start changing, then I'll start changing with it. But right now, I don't see the need for me to do it. But again, if you want to be safer, you can do all those extra steps. Add social to your site, do professional design, only theme them to one specific niche. You can do all that if you want. I personally don't do most of that right now. Okay, and those are all the biggest questions I get about blog network sites. If you have any other questions, of course, we'll answer them on the webinars. Talk to you soon. Alright everyone, this video what I want to do is do some example network posting. Alright, so this is just an example site here. It's not an actual blog network site, but we're going to treat this as though it was a blog network site. Okay, so I'm logged in here to what would be a blog network site, and I have 5 money sites here. We got saleshealth.com, we got weightlossproducts.com, killerworkouts.com, effectivediets.com, and myhealthylife.com. These are all just made up domain names. We're pretending that these 5 are money sites. Because what I want to do is just go through, do an example post, to show you how I do a post, just the process I go through, how I record it, and how I mix sites together and all that type of stuff. Okay, and we'll cover all that in this video. Alright, so first thing I do is I bring up my article. Okay, I have a random article here. This particular article is on the importance of good health to the society. So, I know I'm going to be posting about health. I order, random health articles. I don't really care what they're on as long as it's about health, like, good health, dieting, working out, whatever. And I send that to a guy named fapcent@gmail.com. We have his resource in the members area, but it's FAPCENT@gmail.com if you want to order from him. He's $2 per 500 words. Just let him know Greg sent you. He usually gives pretty decent articles where they read correctly, but every once in a while they have mistakes in them. He's a cheap writer, but they're good enough for network sites, and I'll just kind of comb over them. I'll just kind of look over them really quick, make a few easy fixes, and that's it. But for the most part, they're decently written, they're spelled correctly, it's unique content. That's all I care about. So what I'll do is I'll take the article and I'll go to Copyscape, because we want to make sure that it's a unique article. Sometimes these guys, they have people working for them and they'll plagiarize content that get easily paid. So we always want to check in here to see if the article is already on the web. So in this particular case, this article is already on the web, so this was actually a plagiarized article, so I would not use this. We don't want duplicate content, okay? Now, FAPCent, 99% of the time, my article is unique every time. Every once in a while, I'll run into an article like this. In this case, I wanted to use an article that showed up because I want to show you what it looks like, okay? If you go to compare text, it's only matching 19%, but a whole paragraph is matching, so I probably wouldn't use that. I want a totally unique article, so I actually wouldn't use this. I'm just going to use it for the sake of example, but what I would do is I would delete this article, email them, let them know about it, and I would move on to the next article, run it through, and make sure there's no results found. Okay? Let's just pretend like this is a totally unique article. I'm going to go to Add New Post. I'm going to paste it in. Remember, you can also use the blog network posting software. I'm just going to do it manually from here. I will be using this to find a YouTube video. Alright, so we got our article here. And usually what I would do is just kind of go through the article, maybe make sure there's no spellings in here that are messed up. I'll just kind of run through it really quick, take like 10 seconds on it. Alright, so I'll make sure it is formatted properly. Sometimes I'll center the heading, sometimes not. Then I'll do it like a similar title. Good Health and Society, something like that. Alright, so make sure we're formatted okay here. Usually I would zoom out so I can see this easier, but I'm trying to let you guys see as good as you can. You guys should still be able to see that okay. Alright, so it looks formatted okay. Usually I like to add one to two outbound authority links, sometimes 3. Let's see, so I'm just looking for a good place. When I do my outbound authority links, I look for something that people, here's a mistake here, I'm just going to quickly fix. Something that people would want to click on, something that actually makes sense to do an outbound authority link. Maybe treatment of diseases. Okay, so in this case, what I can do actually is use my Finder program. Go find I want a link of PageRank 4 or better. I only need one of them. Add links for treatment of diseases. I could have actually done 10 and pick the best one. So here's a Mayo Clinic on disease treatment. So I'll just copy that and put that in here. Disease treatment. Alright, so I got my authority link in there. Now let's go to our money sites. Alright, we got sales, health, weight loss products. Let's say none of these have links yet. Okay? So maybe this time I'm going to link to sales, health, and I'm going to link to weight loss products. Okay? So let's say sales, health has a page on P90X. Alright? So, and let's say the keyword is P90X workout. So the target URL would be like, let's just say P90X workout. Target keyword P90X workout review. And this isn't to show you how I do anchor text. We already have videos about that. This is more just to show you the process of how I do my network posting. Alright, so I copy the target URL, And I want to find somewhere in this article where I can work in P90X workout review. But first, what I want to do is I like to work in the keywords before I put in the link. So since I know I'm doing something about P90X, I want to have that word in here at least once other than the link. Okay, and I'll show you how I do that. Let's kind of look through here. Okay, so I'll just mix it in like this. For this reason, health is a very critical aspect, such as shown in the P90X workout program. I'm just mentioning the keyword that I'm going to be linking to that's not my link. It's it's co-occurrence. It helps tell Google this site actually does mention P90X. It's not just a link going out there, or we're not trying to just game them, with the only word for P90X being a link out. I think that could look suspicious. It probably doesn't, but it could. So I just like to work in the keyword I'm doing, or work a similar keyword to the keyword I'm doing, P90X stuff, before I add the link. Alright, so now I'm going to work in my link. And I'm just doing this very quickly. And this is a totally off the cuff. Which you can find more about at the P90X workout review. Alright, doesn't need to make perfect sense, but try to make as much sense as you can. So I got a link to site number 1. Now I'm going to put a link to site number 2. So let's say weight loss products. Let's say we're targeting the home page for this one. Okay? So the target URL would be the home URL. Target keyword, let's say best weight loss products. Okay? So I'm going to make sure I have weight loss products in here somewhere. Alright. Now I can work in my link. Was that my target keyword? Products. Alright, so that's going to link to site 2. Alright, so now I have one link to each site. Sometimes what I'll do here is I would link to a third site maybe. I don't do that too often, because then you kind of have a big mix there. But sometimes what I'll do is I'll link to site 1, one link, then I'll link to site 2, this link, and then another link for an inner page of this site. Okay, so I'll do that a lot. For this example, I'm just going to, and I mix it up all the time. Maybe I'll do site 1 and 2 on site 2, and then an authority link. Then next time, maybe I'll do, site 1 twice and site 3 once. Then maybe next time I'll just do site 4 by itself. So I keep mixing it up each time because I don't want a pattern. I don't want to link to site 1, site 2, site 1, site 2, site 1, site 2. You don't want the combinate. You want to eliminate as many of those combinations as you can. Okay, you don't want to keep linking to the same 2 sites in the same post or from the same site over and over and over again. So I'm going to leave this one at 2 links, 2 outbound links to money sites, and then we got 1 authority link. Alright? Sometimes I'll add categories, sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll add tags, sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll add video, sometimes I'll add pictures, sometimes I'll add picture and video. Okay? In this case, I'm going to add picture and video, for example. So let's delete this, and this is the Finder program which you guys have access to. Click on the picture, and I want a picture for weight loss. Insert. I don't know if it froze or what, never happened before. Let me pause it really quick. Oh, that was weird. Let's try this again. Weight loss. Insert. Don't know why it's doing that. Alright, so let's just go find a picture. It has never done that before. Of course, for the video it will. Go to images. And I'm not going to add a picture. I'm just going to show you how I would do it without the program. Type in weight loss. I'm just going to pick one of these random. I like to not pick the top ones because a lot of people who do this will pick the top ones. I'll just scroll down some and pick one that's down here. Maybe like this one or this one, whatever. Save it to my computer. Name it like, weight loss, best weight loss, something like that. Upload it to my site. Alright. In this particular example, I won't use it so I don't have to download it and re-upload it and all that. Now let's go find a relevant YouTube video. Just hit the YouTube button on our network poster. We want something on weight loss. We only need one video. Find keywords. Insert, and here's our embed code. Okay. I can just throw this down at the bottom. I'm going to center it. And here is my video. Okay. I'll do a category for this, but not any tags. Let's just do health. Alright, I won't do any tags. Again, sometimes I'll do categories and tags, sometimes just tags, sometimes neither. I'm always switching it up, just random. I actually forgot to delete these two brackets. Alright, so this will be ready to go and I will post it. Okay? So go ahead and publish. I'm not going to because these are fake links. Well, I guess I can because it doesn't matter. Alright, so let's go ahead and view the post. And here it is right here. Okay, we got our 3 links, our video at the bottom, and we're good to go. Alright, so now that I've linked to those two, I'm not going to make any more posts. I'm just going to tell you maybe what oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to put it in my log, because I always log what I do. Alright, so what I do is I do a spreadsheet. I always keep track of what I post, because then you can kind of see what's going on with it. So this URL, anchor text was P90X workout review. Date 12/2/13. Targeted anchor text, same. If it's different, just write something. If it was this is the anchor text, then this would be like the target keyword you're trying to rank for, and then the position that it was in before you made the post. In this case, no position. Alright, so then the next one we posted to this site. I'll put it down here so I have like room under this site. Best weight loss products. 12/2/13. Same. Or you can just leave these blank. That's what I usually do, actually, is leave them blank if it's the same as the anchor text. The keyword we're trying to rank for. And it's no position because it has no links yet. It's not ranking anywhere. Alright? So I always make this log as well, and I'll save it. So now I have those logged in. Then, like, when changes happen, I can come back to the spreadsheet and say, okay, what date did I do? Oh, I'm sorry. Also, you want to put in insert the network site that you posted to. DelawareMoneymakers.com, because that's important as well. And any other information you want to put, but this is usually what I put. Alright, so we got the target URL, target anchor text, date posted, network site posted to. This would be the keyword you're trying to rank for and where it's ranked currently or before you made the post. Alright, because then you can come back to this data and look at it. And let's say I make another post and another post, and all of a sudden, oh, well, P90X workout review is ranked number 32 now. This was the only link to that page. I know that this did a good bit of movement for me. You can kind of look at what anchor text you used, what you did for your article. You can look at all that type of stuff. And as you make more and more links, you can get more and more data. And that's how I figure out updates so easily, or I have been figuring them out more easily. All right. So now So we made that. This would be our first post. We have these two right here. Maybe next time, so that would be post number 1. Let me just copy this. Post 1 to site 1 and site 2. Alright, so I'll leave these. Alright, so that was post 1. Then post 2, maybe I'll go to site A again. Okay. So site 1. Let's say the target URL. Maybe I'm doing like the Insanity workout program now. So a different page, target keyword, Insanity workout program. Alright. And then maybe I'll link to site 3 with that one. killerworkouts.com. Let's say the target is the best workouts. And maybe target keyword, best workouts online. And again, the important part here is not the anchor text, but just how I link site, how I don't create patterns. Okay, so again, since post 1 I linked to site 1 and 2, I'm not going to link to site 1 and 2 together again if I can help it. Maybe I'll link to site 1 and 3 this time, and then maybe 2 and 4, and then maybe 4 and 5, and then maybe 1 and 5, and then maybe 3 and 5, then maybe just 1, then maybe just 5. So I mix it up like that, where I'm not constantly making the same post. All right, let's say I want another link to site 2. Hardest workouts. So in this particular post, I have 3 money site links. Okay. So I think you guys get the point here where, I mix up between the sites I link out to, the combination of sites. I'm not going to keep linking to site 1 and site 2 over and over together, together over and over again. I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to link to site 1 and 2 maybe once, then I'm going to link to site 1 and 3, and then maybe 2 and 5, and then maybe 3 and 4, and then maybe just 1 by itself, and then maybe just 4 by itself, maybe just 2 by itself. Maybe one time I'll mix in 3 of them at once. I don't do that very often though. I like to stay away from that. Sometimes when I link these 2 together, I'll just do 1 link for each. Sometimes I'll do 2 links for this one, 1 for this one. So that's how I mix it up. I usually don't do more than 3 money site links though, or money page links I should say. Alright, so that should clear up how I'm posting to my network, how I'm adding relevant text. Like if I'm posting about the best weight loss products, since I order general articles, I'll make sure there's something about weight loss in there. It's at least mentioned once. Just like the P90X example, general articles are probably not going to have P90X in it, so you can kind of work it in, and then of course work it in again when you actually do your link. Doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as it makes somewhat decent sense. Alright, so hopefully this video helps you with your posting. Just don't create patterns, just keep mixing things up. Sometimes use categories, sometimes tags, sometimes both. Sometimes use images, sometimes use images and videos, sometimes use just videos, sometimes use neither. Just keep switching it up. Always stay as random as you can. Right? Again, hopefully this video helps. Talk to you. Alright, this is everyone's favorite part of the process, the backlinking. Everyone wants to know, how do you do your backlinks? How long do you wait in between? What anchor text you use? And we went over a little bit of that stuff in the training tutorials. I'm going to go further into that in this video and kind of give you instructions for what to do for the backlinking. Remember that backlinking technically starts in the social phase. You're linking from your social accounts to your website. You're linking from your videos to your website. So that's when the backlinking technically starts, but it really starts when you start linking from your network. Okay, because that's when you really start getting that power. The social gets it started. It's a great way to get it started, and you get started on the right foot. You know, if someone starts a website, just a normal person, that they'd probably put that website in their Google Plus account, in their Facebook account, in their Twitter account. That's probably the first thing they would do before they got any other types of links. So it's very natural for us to start with those social links, from Google Plus and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, and then after that we start with the network links. And you don't have to wait after those social links too long to start backlinking if you want. I'm going to show you exactly what I did for KLKS. I was debating on showing it, because I'm going to show you the exact dates and the URLs that I linked to on those dates. I debated not showing it just because that's it's pretty in depth for approach, but I want to make sure everyone understands this and knows what types of things I do and how I approach things, because it's what's working. Even though most people wouldn't show it, I think it's going to really help a lot of people. So I did decide to show it, and I have that data, which I'm going to show in just a minute here. I'm not going to be showing the anchor text I use because I don't want people to go out and copy exact anchor text that I use, because a lot of people are going to be going in the e-cigarette market. A lot of people already are going in the e-cigarette market after this example site. So I'm not going to show the exact anchor text, but we already went over that in the anchor text URL and title video. Remember, you're switching it up a little bit each time. Okay, so let's go into this data right here. This is for the KLKS site. This is the URL I linked to and the date that I linked to it. Okay, a lot of these that you see on the same date, like this is on the same date, the first links I made, this is both from the same network site most of the time. Okay, there may be like some where it's not, like this could be from 2 sites or it could be from 1, so just keep that in mind. If there's more than 3, it's definitely from 2 sites, but let's go through this. So I started linking first to the e-cigarette brands page. I started that on 6/10, which is about 2 weeks after I started the site. So I started my backlinking about 2 weeks after. You can start your backlinking right away if you want, especially with an expired domain, but I like to just play it safe. I like to wait a couple weeks. Again, you do not have to do that. You do not have to wait. You can pretty much start linking immediately with an expired domain, but I just like to take it slow, just a little bit slower, just be a little bit safer, and that always seems to work for me. Okay, the next link I did the next day. Alright, the next link I did the next day. That's probably from the same site there. So I did 3 links 3 days in a row, actually. Then I waited 8 days and I did another link. Okay, I waited 6 days and did another link. Waited about 6 more days and did another 2 links, probably from the same site. Waited another 6 days, did another, and that's the first link I have to the same page. Okay, so e-cigarette brands is the first URL being linked to twice, and it's a month apart, which again is pretty slow. Okay, I could have gone a good amount faster than that, but I'm just showing you what I did for KLKS and what worked for this site. But I want to make sure it's extra clear. You can go faster than that and be entirely safe. Alright, you can go probably 2-3 times faster and still be pretty safe with it. Alright, so after that, I waited 4 days. Notice how I'm slowly picking it up. Okay, I did 3 in a row, which was, I didn't do that again for a while, but I did 3 in a row, and then I was waiting 8 days, 6 days, 8 days, 4, So I really took it slow at first, besides these first 3. And then I start picking it up a little bit, 4 days in between, 3 days in between, 1 day in between, then I went back up to 6, then 2, 5, then I went back up to like 7, okay? Then I went up to 7 again, and then this is when stuff started ranking and I really started picking it up. So about 2 months after I started my network links, that's when I started picking it up, linking average every other day, sometimes every day. So this right here could have been from 2 sites. This could have actually been two linking sites. And this is when the e-cigarette brands page started really ranking, or started showing signs. So you notice I started really picking it up. I did it on the 13th, the 16th, the 21st, whereas before I was waiting almost a month in between links to that specific page, which again is pretty long. I wouldn't even wait that long. For you can wait like 10 days in between each page. But I just again wanted to show you the exact blueprint for KLKS. But overall, after about 2 months in, I waited. I did 2 links in 1 day. Then I just waited 1 day, then just 2 days, then 3 days, then again just 1 day, again just 1 day. Whereas before I was waiting, 2, 4, 6, 8 days in between. Now I'm starting to slowly pick it up. All right. and this was likely two sites I used. Then I waited 2 days, 3 days, 1 day, 2 days, couple days, 1 day, 1 day. So a lot of these are just 1 day in between where I'm really starting to pick it up. Okay, but I don't like do 1 day, 1 day, 1 day, 1 day, 1 day, 1 day. I'll do like 1, 1, 1, then I'll wait 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. I mix it up, as you can see here. Okay, but notice that I pick it up even more on the e-cigarette brands now because that's really starting to rank. I'm linking to it almost every day now. The 5th, the 6th, then I wait 3 days for it. There's 2 links in the same day for it. Then I do link to it the next day. And the way I look at it is it's, linking is progression. Sites, like a natural site that does well, if it was doing well naturally, it would naturally start getting linked to more and more. And that's the way that I look at, that's the way that I was looking at this site, and it worked extremely well. Alright? And again, you can notice the same trend. I'm linking to this page a lot more than I was before. I slowly picked it up. Same thing for the other pages that are doing well. Okay? But these are the exact dates that I linked to. Today is the 23rd of October, so the last link I did was 2 days ago. Alright? But you can see the exact URL I linked to and the exact date that I linked to it throughout this. This is all the links that I built. Of course, I'm not showing the anchor text. If you count these up, there's probably 40 to 50 network sites I used altogether, because most of the double dates or triple dates are from the same site. Some of the triple ones are from 2 different sites, but I'm not sure how many I would have to count. Alright, but hopefully this helps you understand what I did with KLKS. And again, I just want to make sure you understand I took this site pretty slow, especially since it's an expired domain. With expired domains, you can go a good amount quicker, 2-3 times quicker. I could probably take all these links, which is from 610, we'll say to about 1010 or so. So there's about 92 links in there from about 40 sites. That took 4 months to do. I probably could have put that into 2 months or maybe even 1 month and been okay. All right. If you're going to go faster, I would just make it a gradual. Like maybe the first 2 weeks you're doing them every other day on average. Maybe you do 1, 1, skip 2, skip 3, back to 1, 1, skip 2 again, back to 1. I didn't start doing that until about 2 months in. But you can do that right away and then start picking it up, okay? Then, as you do maybe an average of 1 every other day, you do an average of 1 every day. And that doesn't mean you do exactly 1 every day. It means you do about an average of 1 every day, okay? And then from there, you can start maybe picking up even a little more and do an average of a couple a day. So again, you can do it quicker than I did it, but just I would start at a lower level and gradually pick it up. I wouldn't go start up top and then go down. I would just kind of slowly pick it up. Whatever you start at. My average started at about every 6 days, and then the average went to about every 4 days. Then the average went to about every 2 days, and then I'm doing almost every day. Not anymore because I'm ranking for a lot of stuff, so I don't need as many links. But now it's kind of like I'm not linking as much just because I'm working on other stuff, and this site's already doing pretty well, so I'm not linking to it as much. But in the time where stuff was getting really close, I was linking pretty much every day. All right, just be aware of that. And that's the linking. It's just you got to be aware of patterns. Like I said, a natural site will start low and it'll gradually pick up. You're not going to start 10 links in a day, 10 links in a day, 10 links in a day, and then go down to 1. You don't want that downward. If you can avoid, you don't want that downward. And with our network, we can really control that. We can start at a lower level and gradually pick it up like that. But you can go quicker again than what I showed here. All right. Hopefully that helps you with your backlinking. Make sure you refer back to the anchor text URL and title video to go over what you do for your anchor text, and then also how to post to your network video to show how to actually post to your network. Using how many links to do in each post and whether to put pictures and videos in the post and all that stuff. All right. Hope this helped. Talk to you soon. Alright everyone, so in this video what I want to do is show you how to build a really cheap blog network. We're talking $300 to $500 range for about 10 sites or so, which can do a lot for you, especially in the local niches and in launch jacking, as long as it's not a huge launch jack. Even 10 sites for a pretty big launch jack can get you on first page fairly easily, depending how big it is. But just to show you some examples of sites that I've ranked with just a couple links. Delaware SEO. This site's number 1, number 2, the video is number 3, and I sent, I believe, 2 or 3 links to this site, and they're of similar quality to the sites that I'm going to be showing you how to find. Okay, very similar quality. Another one was a friend that owns a barbershop, Delaware barbershop. Right, his site's right here at number 1. Okay, you can do Delaware barbershops, best Delaware barbershops, and he's number 1 for all this stuff off of 1 link. Okay, that's it, 1 link. Again, similar quality to what I'm going to be showing you. Another one, a friend of mine owns a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym, Delaware BJJ. Here he is right here at number 2 for Delaware BJJ. 2 links. Okay, again, very similar quality of what I'm showing you, the quality of the sites. Another one, famous example, we use Gold IRA. I sent 4 links to this site right here, 4 blog network site links, and it's been in the top 3 for Gold IRA for over 9 months. Again, similar quality of what I'm about to show you. The blog network sites don't have to be the super powerful ones to rank. Even tough term. I mean, Gold IRA is a tough term. I just got my keyword and my domain keywords really good for that one. Usually, you're not going to do that well with just 4 links of that quality to a term like that, but I just did really well with my domain keywords and mixing my anchor text and my titles and all that. But anyways, those are just some examples of sites I've just used a few links, even 1 link for the Delaware Barbershop one to rank a site. A client like that, you can be getting a few $100s a month, put that money back into your blog network. You can use that you can even use 10 sites to rank dentists, the big people, plastic surgeons. And those people can be a few grand a month. I mean, you put that back into your network, you trade up, you go after bigger stuff, go after bigger affiliate stuff, and that's how you get things going. That's how I started. I didn't always spend the amount of money I do now on my network sites, but I was able to build myself up, okay? So, let's go through this. And remember, whenever I teach something, I always recommend trying to put your own little twist on it, because, when I first started, I learned from Mike's course, and I followed the course, but I put my own twist on things. In a sense, I made them better for myself. And you can do the same thing. If everyone follows the exact way, will they succeed? Yeah, but if you put your own little twist on, that's when you can really explode, how valuable this stuff can be for you, because no one else is doing it. Most people who watch this are going to follow exactly the way I show you. If you're one of the few that, just goes outside the box and thinks a little harder and tries some different things, then you can really find something that works even better. Okay, so let's go ahead and set some filters here. Greater than 0 for the indexed. We want it to be indexed. Domain age, I'll say less than 2010. Again, this is one of the things you can play with. You can play with that number. Domain authority, we'll say greater than 30. Again, another number you can play with. Expires in the next 7 days. And then auction type, we're mainly going to be going after GoDaddy stuff because GoDaddy starts lower. Now Namejet, you can do the same thing that I'm going to show you, and you can just go after because they start at $69. 10 sites at $69 would be $690 if you got them at the lowest price, which is still pretty good for 10 sites. You can do a lot with that. $690, you have 10 sites you can send links to from multiple different sites. That can do a lot for you. You can easily get a client for $690 a month and kill that cost in 1 month very, very easily. Okay, and people do it all the time. But for this example, to say as cheap as possible, we're going to go with public. Okay, and that's the auctions that start at $12. Here's another thing you can play with. I always say, I don't mess with buy now and offers. Maybe you can go in and mess with them. The buy now start as little as $5. Okay. And I'm sure you can find good sites in there that are buy now for $5. I've just never played with that because most of them are spammy. But I'm almost positive you can go in there, take some time, and pick out sites that are pretty good. You can get for $5 each. 10 sites for $5 each. That's $50. All right. Well, you got registration and all that. It would end up being like I don't know, maybe $100, $200 at most. But again, something you can play with. When I'm telling you these things, just kind of take it a little further, look into it yourself, and just play with things like that. Okay. Same thing with offer. Most of the offer domains, they try to get you for more money, but who knows? Maybe if you go in and do a bunch of them, you can find some really good ones for cheap prices. Okay. But for this example, I'm going to show public. And I've never messed with reverse, so that's another thing you can mess with. All right. So let's go ahead with public. These all start at $12. And we will do find domains. Now, the biggest thing about getting domains for cheap is putting in more time into the research phase, all right? You know, a lot of people, the biggest mistake they make is they get stuck on domains. What I mean is, you know, they'll find a domain they really, really like. They'll set their clock for the auction end time, and they'll get in bidding wars with people, and they'll pay a lot more than they should be paying for the domain. When really what they can do is they can spend more time on the research phase. Instead of bidding on 5 you really like, go bid on 50 that are at least decent, okay? And then only go with the ones that you're getting at 12, 15 bucks. So, you know, if I'm you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go do my research. Me personally, I spend 15 to 20 hours a week researching expired domains, okay? So I put a lot of time into it because I'm serious about it. So you got to ask yourself, you know, how serious are you about it? The more time you put into the research phase and the smarter you are about the end of the auction, the cheaper you can get them. And trust me, if I had that recommendation when I first started, I would have saved myself tens and tens of thousands of dollars on domains that I just paid way too much for that I shouldn't have. Because again, if you could just bid on 5 domains you really like, you're going to get in bidding wars with them. You're going to end up paying, you know, a few $100s sometimes for these domains, which you can get similar quality for 12, 15 bucks. So what you want to do is instead of bidding on 5 domains you really like, go and do more research. Spend more time on the research phase. Again, ask yourself, how bad do you really want it? Spend more time on the research phase. And then from there, what you want to do is just bid on more sites. Okay, so say I go and bid on 30 sites instead of 5. That way, I'm not stuck on any one domain. What I'm going to do is when the auctions come up, I'm either going to just get the ones that end at the price I bid on with $12, which no one else bid on. I'll get them for $12, or I'm going to set my alarm clock for all the auctions, all 30 of them. And when they come around, I'm going to set a limit for myself. Okay, I'm not going over $22 for any of these domains. And the reason for that is there's so many domains out there that people miss them all. Trust me, I get good domains. I get great domains in the $12 to $15 range weekly because I do my research, all right? So just make sure you spend more time on the research phase, bid on more domains, and then set a limit for yourself where you will not go over that number no matter what. Do not get stuck on a domain. There's way too many domains out there to do that, okay? It's a mistake I still make every once in a while. I'm telling you, don't do it. It's a waste of time and money. I'm really working on not doing that at all anymore. So once you get in here, you can organize by domain authority. You can organize by domain age. That's good for this method. You can organize by PR if you want. Bid price you can organize by. I'm sorry, some of them start at $10. Most of them start at $12. For this one, I'll organize by domain age. Just kind of mix it up. Again, you can also organize by domain authority. I do that a lot. But for this method, I really like older sites. You know, if you get older sites with decent links, it can really do a lot for you. Another little tip there for everyone. So let's go in here. Let's see. Whoops, I organized the wrong way. So I want the oldest to show first. Alright, so I'm going to I look at the whole picture. Remember, I look at the domain name, I look at the bid price, where it's currently at, page rank, age, and domain authority. Alright. Women's tea. So this ends in 6 days. Let's find a better one. Here's a 2. It's at 155. That's high for a PR2 showing. It's old. Let's see here. Alright, so here's one here. It's showing only a PR1, so it won't get much attention. It's at 12 bucks. I kind of liked that domain name. It's old. So let's go check this out. So let's go check the www version. It's probably at that version because it's so old. Alright, so it's got 8 linking root domains. They're all foreign. So I wouldn't do that one. Let's go to the next one. Here's a PR3. It's at 10 bucks. It'll probably go higher because it's got a good amount of days left. But let's just go check it out anyways. So it's got 56 linking root domains. Oh, it's a redirect, so make sure you go to the right domain. Whenever that message pops up, again, we covered this in the expired domain videos, but make sure you're looking at the right site. Organized by domain again. We probably just could have looked at a few of these top ones, but while that's loading, I'm just going to look at some more of these. And usually the older domains go for a good bit, so a lot of these top ones will probably be more expensive than what we can find. It redirected again. I'm just going to go to the next one. Or what I'll do is I'll just click on this and just kind of manually do it. Or I won't group them by domain. Alright. So let's see what we got here. And usually I would look at more than just like 5. But in this case I'm just doing like the top 5. Just as example. So there's a PR5 right there. A lot of links on the site. Well, actually most of them aren't links. Most of them are email addresses. So that's a PR5 right there. Of course, I would check to see if that link's actually there. The name of this site is Metro Gourmet Inc. So again, what I would do, I've shown this before, but I'll just show it again as a review. I bring up the source code, go to Edit Find, and then look for the domain name Metro, and there it is right there. You're looking for href site name. Okay, so this does have a link on this site, is a PR5 link. So one PR5 makes this worth to get for $12, no matter, definitely. Even if none of these other ones have PR. Alright, one PR5 link is enough to get this domain for $12, no doubt about it. So what I would do is I would go bid on this. Alright, so I'd go bid, it's already at $10, so I'd put my bid in at $15. Alright, and that's one site I'd bid on. If it goes above $25 or whatever, I'm just going to let it go. I'm not going to get stuck on it. Alright, so let's see, I'm just kind of looking at domain name, looking at the whole picture here, just kind of trying to go through it quick. This one's already up to 27. So, and it's still got 5 days left, so it's probably because it's a short domain and it's old. This one's already up at 150, or it looks like it started at 150. Again, these older domains are usually more expensive, but sometimes you can find some good ones. Alright, me and mommy to be. This is only at $10 still. Let's go check this one out. Showing a PR2. It's got 4 domains to this one. We want more than that, so let's go check the www version. Alright, so that does have more. And again, usually I would group by domain to just get the top domains, referring domains. But let's kind of do it by hand. I'm just going to do like 5 of them. Spoon. Make sure I'm not getting any of the same domains. It's a blogspot one. Alright, so let's go look at these top 5. So there's a PR2. See how many links are on the page. Looks like a lot of links. Another PR2. Again, looks like a lot of links. There's another 2. 2. And a 3. Alright, so I mean the top 5 links were 4 2s and a 3. And that's a site I would pay $12 for any day. Okay? That's going to pass some link juice. Even though there was a good amount of links on most of those pages, it'll still pass link juice. Alright, so I would probably bid on that one. Let's say $10, I'd bid 15. If it went over 25, I wouldn't get it. This one, I don't like that domain name, so I'm just going to skip it. PR3, it's already up to 90. Again, remember we don't care about PR, so we can go check this out. I mean, it's got 2 days left, and it's only at $12 still. It's got 3 linking root domains for this version. 1 do follow. Let's see what that do follow is. If this is like, even if it's 1 do follow link at a PR5, I would consider it, depending how old the link was. If it was like a newer link, I probably wouldn't do it, just based off 1 link. But let's go check the dub version. And none at that one. Alright, so that one ended up being a dead end. And these, for cheap ones, you probably just want to skip any showing above a 4 or above a 3, because people go off PR still, and they will bid a lot of money on these. These will not go for low. Alright, so here's one right here. I don't like the name of the site, but it only has 17 hours left, and it's only at $12 still. Here's one, less than 2 days left, and it's still at $12 with no bidders. So let's go check that out. Three linking root domain to this version. A lot of domain authority to this one. I like that. No PR for it, but a lot of domain authority. It would need to have more than that. Let's go check the dub version. This one has more. There we go. So we'll check those first few. There's a PR2. Not too many links on there. There's a PR3. Not many links. Alright, so a PR2 and a PR3, and we only checked the top 5 links or so. You need to keep checking more of these links. There's a lot of links there, right? So there's a site right here. It ends in less than 2 days, and no one's bid on it yet. It's at $12 still. These are the type of sites that you can pick up for $12 pretty easily. And again, as you see, as we get newer in age, as we get to the newer sites, less and less bidders, because a lot of people bid on age. Alright, so that's what I would do. I'd just keep looking through these. I would just look through a lot of these and just see how they look. Okay, and again, you can mess with the different settings in here. You can change stuff around, and again, we can even do stuff like, let's go check out the buy now. You can also do the offer. I've never messed with the reverse. You can go check that out. But let's go do the buy nows and just see what they look like. I haven't looked at the buy nows in a long time. So what we can do is organize by the lowest. So we'll get the ones that start at like $5. Alright, so we got one at 5 there. A few at 8, 9, 10. There's not too many of them there. But what we could do is maybe try changing this down to like 25 or something, and include like, just kind of expand that. And these are the things you can just play with. You can do the same thing with offer and reverse, whatever. I don't even mess with reverse. Look how much that went up. Went up to 2,000 from 300 domains. So that's again organized by buy now price. Alright, so we got tons and tons of 5s here. Looks like they're showing mostly 0s, but you can still look at them if you want. Here's one it's got 19 hours left, and it's still at $5 for buy now. Let's go see if it looks any good. Alright, so none to that version. Let's check the dub version. It's got 4. They're foreign, so I wouldn't mess with that probably. Let's go to the next page. You know what we can actually do is organize by PR. We can start like the ones, twos. So this goes down to the threes. Let's go to page 3. And again, I'm just trying to give you guys ideas of different things you can do, so everyone's not doing the same thing. But the more time you put in your research, the more you can find. All right, so here's a bunch of twos. Here's one for $10, 19 hours left. Rockinghames.org. The scores match up to where this should make sense. A 31, a PR2. The domain name sounds pretty good, so this has some potential. Just 3 linking root domains. I probably wouldn't go with something with that low unless it was like a solid link. It's a PR5. I wonder how long this has been here. It doesn't say when it was last updated. What I would probably try to do for this is see if I could find out like how long this has been here. You can go do like an archive check and see how long this page has been here. You know, if it's like a newer page, I probably wouldn't risk it. But if it's been here for at least like a year or so, you know, one PR5 link, that makes this a legitimate PR2. It could even be PR3 quality. Okay? So there's a site right there that has a PR5 link onto it. It's going to pass link juice to everything else you link to. You can buy for $10. Okay? Here's one for $5 right here. Foreign Worker Out Beta. I don't like the domain name a lot, but I'll check it out anyways. So these buy nows could actually work out, and I haven't even taught this. So this just kind of opens up a whole lot more doors, and there's tons of them here for $11. You know, $5, $10. Just make sure the link quality backs it up. Don't go off just PR. Again, you know, I've been teaching that for a long time. Even though the PageRank update came, don't go off just PR. Let's go off a few of these top links here. So these are all expired. So it looks like someone might have had a network together for this site. All right, but you guys get the point here. You know, I'm just looking. I'm doing more research. And I'm getting sites for cheap. Okay, and again, remember, you can still do You can do the pre-releases. Okay. I do this all the time, guys. Look for domains. It's almost 2,000 domains. And all those of these will be a little more expensive. What you can do for these is set with how pre-release works is you got to pay the the $69 is just there's a $69 like entrance. If you end up not winning the site, you don't pay the $69, okay? So you're just pledging if I'm the only bidder, I pay $69 for this site. That's the minimum price, okay? So when you go into a pre-release, you put in your bid for $69. It's not really a bid, it's kind of just like a placement holder. But if there's no other bidders, you win that site. If there is other bidders, then all the people who put the $69 in to get in the auction, they all bid for the domain. But only the winner pays anything. You're not charged anything until the domain is yours. Okay? So you can do the same thing for here. It's a little more expensive. You're going to be in the $600 to $800 range for 10 sites. But tons and tons of sites at NameJep and Snap you can get for $69. And what you can do is just go through all the domains, only bid $69 on all the decent to good ones, okay? And then whatever ones you win at 69, just do those. You know what I mean? You don't have to go after the ones that go above that. Or you can just, if you're tied for people at 69, maybe you can bid 79, see if you can get them at the last minute. Just set your alarm when there's 5 minutes left, go and bid 79, and if it ends up going above that, just let it go. Okay, I do that all the time where, I'll bid on sites for 69. because it's tied. Whoever sets the bid first is the person who's considered winning the auction. Even if if you have 10 bidders, they all put in $69 pre-release entrance. Whoever bid first is considered the top bidder. If no one else goes above that 69, that first bidder gets the site for $69. Okay, so what I'll do is in cases like that, maybe there's just a few bidders at 69. I'll go in at the last minute, bid 79, and I get domains all the time like that, where I'm just going out and stealing it out from under them for just $10 more. All right, so don't forget you can look through these. It's a little more expensive, but again, do the thing where you bid en masse. You do more research, you do more work in the initial phase, then you get the sites for cheaper. All right, hopefully this helps you guys get your networks together for a lot cheaper than you were. Again, don't get stuck on domains. That's the biggest advice I can give you. Do not get stuck on any one site, because that's how you end up spending too much money on one site. There's way too many sites out there to do that. All right, hope you guys enjoyed. Alright, in this video we're going to be talking about the alternate path. If you're not using the expired domain with links going to them, which is my #1 recommendation, if you're using either a brand new domain or if you're using an expired domain that just has age and no links going to it, what would you do different? And really, there's not too much you do different. It's just the things you do different are how quickly you do links, the link speed, and then the anchor text. Those are the three things that are going to be a little different. But for the most part, everything sticks the same. And I wanted to bring up this schedule here that I showed in the other video that I did for Qzx300. As far as speed, would actually be fine for a brand new domain or an expired domain with no links. The one thing I would change up is 3 links right off the bat. I'd probably just do the 10th links and then not do these 2 days. I wouldn't do 3 links in a row on a brand new site or an expired domain with no links. But that's the one thing I would change up here. But as far as this, I was pretty conservative with this site, even though it was an expired domain with links going to it, just because I'm a conservative person. Okay, so but a schedule like this, I would not be afraid to do this on a brand new site or a site expired domain with no links going to it, because this was pretty slow for an expired domain that had links going to it. Remember, I explained in the video for this site, or for this methodology of a expired domain with links going to it, that I probably could have gone like 3 times faster, maybe even faster, and been totally fine. But again, I'm conservative, so I took it a little slower than I needed to. But a schedule like this would be fine for a site that's new or an expired domain with no links. Okay, but that's one area that's different. You want to just be careful with the link speed. I would wait like 3 weeks into the site to start linking, maybe 2. Just the more space you give yourself, the more you're going to protect yourself from getting hit with the penalty. Okay, so just be aware of that. But something like this would be totally fine to follow as far as how quickly to build links. The other thing that would be different is anchor text. Okay, with this site, when you have an expired domain with links going to it, remember we look for sites that have branded anchor text going to them. That way we're already set up to be able to target money keywords pretty much 100% of the time. I would say 90%. We'll work in URLs a little bit, or longer anchor text a little bit, maybe website a little bit, but very little bit, as long as we're changing those money keywords, like, I'm linking with, best e-cigarette, and then maybe I'll do best electronic cigarette, and then maybe I do best e-cig, and then maybe I do top electronic cigarette. So I'm switching up a little bit each time, especially with an expired domain with links going to it. That's enough. Now it's probably enough with a new domain or with an expired domain with no links going to it to do it that way as well. But to be safe, I would work in URL links and stuff like website, click here. I don't really like click here that tons anymore, but stuff like website, visit this page, that type of stuff. I would work that in a little more than you would with a site like this that already has links going to it. So, if we're building links to this e-cigarette brands, maybe I'll start off with a URL link just to be safe. Okay, so let me copy this. Not letting me copy it. Alright, so maybe I'll start off with a URL link just to kind of get off on the right foot. Get a URL link out there. We got a branded anchor text right away. Good way to start. Okay. Then maybe my next one would be e-cigarette. I'm sorry, electronic cigarette brands, because I don't like to do the keyword that's in the URL until later on. So I'm gonna stick away from that. Okay. So then maybe I'll do like best e-cig brands, and then maybe I'll do like this website. Okay. Again, this is probably unneeded, but if you want to be safe, you can just work in stuff like this, especially in the beginning. All right, and then the best e-cigarette brands. Electronic cigarette brand reviews. Okay, so whereas on this site right here, on the KLKS site, I probably would have went right into this stuff. Electronic cigarette brands, best e-cig brands, would have skipped this, would have done this, and maybe I would have worked in this like 10 links in, and I probably would never do stuff like this for this site. I shouldn't say never, maybe once every 40, 50 links. But again, with a brand new site, or any type of site with no links to it, just be a little more careful with your anchor text. You probably could skip this and be fine because we're still switching up the anchor text, but if you want to add that extra layer of safety, work in URL links, and if you want stuff like this every once in a while. Okay, so now I'd probably do money keyword again if you want to be safe. Money keyword, and then maybe I'll work in a URL link again. Okay, this would be the safe way of doing it. Alright, and then back to money, 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 money. And then maybe I work in another URL link. Okay. And then money, money. And then maybe I work in, something like that. Okay, it's kind of like, something to visit that page, and then back to money. Whereas KLKS, we would, skip most of these. We might work in like a URL link like down here. Okay, so that's the main thing that's different is you just want to be more conscious of link speed, especially off the bat. I would wait at least 2 weeks with a brand new site or with a site with no links to it. Wait at least 2 weeks before you start linking. Everything else can be the same. You can start your social right away. You can add your content right away. Just when you start linking, wait a little longer. And then also the link speed, just don't go too quickly, too soon. You can do it and get away with it, but just, we want to be safe here. We want a site that's going to last a long time. And then for the anchor text, again, I would start, even if you don't want to be safe, I would start with a branded anchor text. That's just a really good way to start a site. I think it's just a great way to start. I think even with KLKS, I might have started with a URL link. I don't remember. I'm not positive. Just because I'm really safe, I didn't have to. But with the sites with no links to it, it is a good idea to start with something like this. Like a URL link, and then you can go into your money. You don't have to do stuff like this, but the more of it you do, you're just being a little safer. But I would definitely work in URL links every once in a while for sites with no links to them. But that's pretty much all that's different. With the expired domain, with links going to them, we're just getting more room to breathe. We're getting more power. That domain authority is already higher, so we have more leeway to work with. I talked about in the domain authority video, the higher the domain authority is, the more you can get away with. When you have a YouTube video, you can pretty much do whatever you want to rank the video because YouTube domain authority is 100. So you can spam it, you can use the same anchor text, and you're going to still end up ranking. When you have a money site that already has links to it, the better the links are, the more you can get away with, okay, because the higher the domain authority is. But again, those are just the two main things I would be careful of, and just the two things that you would want to change up, if anything, to be safer. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Talk to you soon.